Yeah, you can do it, game. Test, test, lurk, lurk. I think I'm live. I think you can hear me. No idea how loud or soft music is for you. It's maybe a tad loud for me, but it varies from song to song. Once you're in a running engine, it kind of needs to be a little loud, probably. I think this is the last day of the snow. Welcome to Derail Valley. Yes, I have backed up my save that I had with over $4 million on it, and we are starting from scratch just for the stream. I've decided, and I'll save the VODs, of course. I better. Let me just make sure the game's still capturing. Yeah. Oh boy, a train driver's license. We're gonna learn how to play the game. Yeah, I totally never played this before. Okay, good. I was slightly worried for a second that the controls would be messed up. I just dashed. Okay. Oh, this. Yep. Okay. Oh yes, the comms radio. I mean, I can take this. Can I actually take it? No. Let's not confuse the game. Hi there, Burn. You don't let me put it in my bar? I would if you let me put away the radio. Yes. Yes, that is how you control the pressing mouse too. Oh. Middle mouse button. Oh. Okay, fine. Oh, I'm ready to drive the train. Nice. Oh, there's a job validator here. Okay. Neat. Union Pacific we're starting with. Let me see something. Oh, I can't even scroll yet. Career difficulty. Oh, hardcore. Oh, all it does is change how much it just makes it so you have to do more jobs for the money. Item highlight, cab highlight off, yes. Field of view. 60. Oh, sure, if you want. Hi there, old Rumsey. How you doing? Trying out the streaming thing. I don't know why I haven't streamed in so long, but I wanna make myself do it. Basically. Yes, I know. Something that I didn't know for the longest time is you can use the mouse wheel to open the doors. I was always trying to drag it, and it was very kind of finicky. But you can use the mouse wheel. Fire up the shutter. Okay. No, don't turn on the sand. Okay. Yeah. I'm alright. Well, good to see my skins are... Yeah, space to sit. That's also something I didn't realize right away. And that just makes your view a lot better. Let's turn the lights on. Well, the cab lights, the headlights don't work yet. Okay, release the brakes. I'm not really going through all the controls because I know them so well, but that's the throttle, that's the reverser. That music is probably way too loud. Hold on. This freaking groove music player. I hate it. I'm trying to get used to it. But, like, where's the volume slider? Oh, thanks. Well, the shell is the same, but yeah, most of the parts are brand new. More actions. No. How about volume? Where's the volume? Really? I have to maximize it to get the volume slider? Yep. Okay. Yell at me if audio is wrong, basically. Yeah, I need to, like, get, like, a chat bot thing so that you can do, like, explanation PC specs or something like that. I don't have that now, so I don't bother trying it. But I have a really nice spec computer right now. Well, my video card, I guess, is a little lacking now, but it's pretty good. The CPU is really good. Okay. But yeah, throttle, reverser, and I have the key maps for it. I use keyboard. I don't have VR. There's the brake stands. That's the train brake and the independent. Yeah, I'm using the brake. I know how to do this game. I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to know how to do this because it's a new save, but I do. This is the weirdest little yard ever, but it's just specifically to show you how to move and stop and turn the switch. Just enough room for the little shunter. Yes. Maintenance work. I got my comms. Yes, turn the switch. That's not maintenance work, that's turning a switch. Oh, well, let's fix the derail. Okay. Yep. Somebody went and ran this hopper in too deep and knocked it off the rails. So that's how you re-rail a car. Easy as can be. It's not that easy in real life. What would be neat in this game for really small derailments, well, not quite as small, but like situation where the wheels just pop off the rails, but the car is still pretty much on the tracks. If you could get like blocks of wood or stones or something and actually re-rail it, that would be neat. Or like if you're still coupled to the car and all you have to do is throw some wedges under the wheels. Oh, I did not put it in reverse. Oops. I'm doing good. But yeah, this game is pretty much the main reason why I got pretty much a new new PC. My sister really got all the parts for me for my birthday. But I didn't really. I asked for it, but she knew I was needing it, and she was going to get me a new PC, like case and all, just a new pre-built PC for like. Oh, now we need the coupling manual. Okay. She was going to spend like $1,000 on me, and I'm like, no, Heidi, no. Listen, I know how to fix my computer. I know how to just get a bunch of parts. Oh, nice. So I got all the parts that I wanted for about, I think it ended up being like 500, 550. Okay, here's the train basics. Yep, I know all this stuff. Sorry. And now we couple it. Yes. Give me coupler. I don't want the MU coupler. That's a little annoying. There we go. Oh, now you're going to give me the license. Okay. I've only done the tutorial like twice. Oh, and put it in the job validator. Okay. There's my train driver's license. Hey. D2. Rehall. Well, I'm going to have to put all this stuff somewhere. Oh, and I got a key to unlock my locker. That's neat. You don't use any of this stuff once you do the tutorial once, by the way. This whole area is just a dead area. There's the map. That's the main world map. That's the schematics for all the different yards, which really comes in handy. Oh, we got some money. It's a Derail Valley guide. Okay. Oh, my. Eventually, they're going to come up with a better inventory system, but right now, whatever you had as number one, basically, and then you pick up something else that goes in number one. It's hard to explain, but it's annoying. Like that, I want number one, so I drop it to number one, and then do number one again, and there you go. Now that's number one. That's not what I want two. That's what I want two. Two. That's not what I want. Three. I want my map. Three. Listen, I know you can hold middle mouse and scroll around. I don't like to do that. I like to have the numbers. Maybe it's because I played World of Warcraft for 10 years, but I gotta have things set in certain numbers. Like the radio's always 1, that's always 2, that's always 3. I didn't get my wallet yet, I guess. No, they didn't give me my wallet yet. But that's always going to be 4. That's pretty much it for now, because everything else that I usually have equipped I have to buy eventually. Access the pause menu. Okay, there's the pause menu. Oh, here we go. Let's select my wallet. There's the wallet. We have $2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, okay, good. Hold left alt and move your mouse. Why? Oh, like if you have... It's not hold, actually. You just toggle. You can fast travel. Yep, that's one thing I don't think I've ever bothered to do is fast travel. Take it to the service steel mill. Oh, you're going to let me service at the steel mill? Nice. That's the easy ways to get in the locomotive. Just freaking hit the little teleport thing button. Release the brakes. We got air. Yes. Now we go to the steel mill. Steel mill's just up the road. How's the audio now that the engine's running? It's probably overpowering the video game music in the background. It's going to be a constant struggle. You only hear me. You don't even hear the engine of the train? That should be pretty loud. Oh dear. So throttle. Yes, yep, I can coast. Yep. Hold on. OBS, please. Test. Look. Okay, I see that line. Desktop audio. Is that right? That should be it. Why is this so quiet? Yeah, I see now. It's really quiet. Oh boy. No, I'm gonna toss the licenses when I get the steel mill, I guess. I'm used to having them all kept in my caboose, but I'm starting over again, so filters? No, I didn't think there were any filters on it. Sorry, I haven't streamed in a while, and now for some reason the audio is not working. Advanced audio, work. You guys hear music yet? The game isn't making any sound because it's paused. Maybe that doesn't need to be on default. Very soft. Okay. Alright. It's weird. I have it cranked all the way up here. Oh, and then there it goes. And then I have to go into advanced. It's just so you can see what I'm messing with here. So what am I doing? Am I boosting it? Why do I have to do that? Alright, we're on. Let's see how loud the train is now. I'm pretty sure it just worked the last time I streamed. Okay. Yep, there's the turn. The yard. Yes. I know where I'm going. You can hear it now? Okay, good. I don't know why I have to turn it up on the slider and then go into advance and manually put it up to like 5 decibels or something. That's weird. I never had to do that before. Also, I'm still very new to streaming on Windows 10. That's unfortunately part of the package with the new computer setup is I can't keep using Windows 7. I loved Windows 7. I mean, 10 mostly seems to work fine, but I liked 7 better. I did. I liked Media Player. Windows Media Player. That's this groove music thing, whatever the hell that is. Okay, we're going to service the train now. This is the steel mill, that's the big yard. And this is some storage tracks, and all the way down at the end here is the little maintenance shed. So I guess since I don't have the caboose, I just toss the licenses and they pop up, and then they'll show up in Lost and Found, and they'll just always be there until I get the caboose, right? I've had the caboose for so long, I kind of forgot how that works. Yeah, well, we're almost there. Stop. Why'd the engine shut off? Oh, okay. I was gonna turn it off myself and service the engine, but I don't have the license to do that yet. You actually need a special license. Oh yeah, we still had a hopper. Why did they tell me to bring a hopper into the maintenance shed? It's a little weird. You know, I've been playing this game for so long, but I haven't done the tutorial for a very long time. Okay, I did it. Listen, this is what I do. I do most of the way with that, and then I move it by hand to line it up. It's just easier. This is my M&J skin. Oh, I kind of fixed that, but not quite. Huh. That's still a little yellow spot. That, you know what? I don't care that much. It's better than it was. I'm not good at skinning. I try. It's okay. It almost lines up. Then there's some little weird spots that I don't know how to fix, but whatever. Whenever you start the engine, you gotta let it air up, which makes sense. Yeah. Yep, I only stopped using Windows 7 when I rebuilt this computer, what, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, at most. What is this, February, January, yeah, like 4 months ago. I mostly did it for this game, actually. Everything else I could mostly play while Minecraft was kind of rough. But, this game, if you have less than 16 gigs of RAM, you are not, you're not going to be happy with it. It's going to lag down like crazy. And my setup before I rebuilt it was 12 gigs of RAM. And on top of that, I don't think my computer was really fully using the 12 gigs. I think the motherboard was going bad, long story short. Which way do I want to face? Is that right? Yeah. Oh, I have to go there on foot? Okay. Normally you run the engine up here and park it like there-ish. And then pick up your job, but whatever. I'll do what the tutorial tells me. Oh, another $100. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Oh, okay, we're going to use it to service. Okay, yep. Yeah, you service paying here. Until you pay for manual service once for the license. But in the beginning, your copay is so cheap. Yeah, your copay is only $100, so you're much better off just doing it here. It's gonna be like that for a while, actually. Gonna have to get used to that. Okay, I can do that. Well, that's a logistical haul. I can't do that, actually. Probably all I can do is shunting, actually. Nope, that's hazmat too. That is shunter long too. Nope, I don't have any licenses right now. That is only shunter. I can do that. Let me get rid of these licenses. I really don't need them. I don't need the guides either because I've played this game way too long for that. Even 5. I don't have anything for 5 yet. Yeah, 5 is the remote, but I don't have it yet. Alright. So 5 is where my first job's gonna go. It's a freight haul. I can do that eventually. I want to do switching first. I think that's the only switching job. Yep. Okay. Oh, it's gonna keep messing with the order. See, it put it on number 1. I don't want it number 1. I want that one. 5 is whatever the last one is. Just reverts you to first. That's so annoying. If there's one thing that really drives me nuts in this game, it's the inventory system. Okay. You know what? Since I am such a pro at this game, we're going to find this job first. And this is a loading job. 36 minutes. That must mean the flat cars are spread out all over the whole yard. Although this stupid tutorial thing is going to be there the whole... You know what? I'm going to do this the way it wants me to. Normally what you do with a loading job is find all the empties and get them together and then start the job. And then you're pretty much guaranteed to get the speedy bonus for it. But since this is the first job and it wants me to do the tutorial... No? Oh, I don't have shunt. Wait, train length 1. Does that need one? Train length 1? Oh, yeah. Can't do that. So I can't do any switching jobs. I can't do logistical haul. It's gonna have to be a freight job. I've never started by doing a freight job. Usually you always start switching. Long 2. I can do that. I can do that. But not together because I don't have concurrent jobs, so... 5,457. 400 tons of steel rails. One switcher can handle up to 400 tons, but it's a pretty good climb at a steel mill this way south until you get to about here. Like from here to here is a pretty steep climb. And 400 tons with one switcher, I'm probably not going to try that. So that's this. What is it? 284 tons. Oh, hell. I'm going to keep doing that. I have to do it with 4. Okay, fine. 4, and then while it's on 5. Okay. 284 tons, and from steel mill to goods factory is not really much of a hill. There's a bit of a hill getting up into goods factory, but it's not too bad. So that's what we'll do. And you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to find the job first. And give myself a little advantage. What am I hauling? Those are usually over here, yeah. Now see, until you start the job, it doesn't give you the car numbers. But it does give you the name of the job. SM, that's steel mill, freight haul, FH, 45 is the number. So before you even start the job, you can find it. There it is, FH 45. So I'm going to get my engine. I'm going to hook up to this before I even start. It gives you a little head start. Gives you a little head start and to try to get your speed bonus. Although I guess in the very beginning there's a pretty good leeway for the speed bonus. It's not until later. All right, we repaired at the career manager, so you're gonna start up again. That always shuts the engine down. No, what am I doing? That's the starter. So over there, the hopper, that's really silly that I just took the starting engine and just parked it in the bay there and left the hopper there. But the hopper will disappear as soon as we leave the area, so. And the engine, well, actually the engine I think sticks around for 2 hours. But whatever. Am I facing the right way? No. Wait a minute. Yes. I always have to think about it here because you go straight that way and then I'm going to back into the... and then I'm going to go towards the right. Yeah, usually when I leave Steel Mill I go south towards Harbor. That's why I thought I was facing the wrong way. But no, we're actually going north, so we're good. There's the Steel Mill. Yeah, see, we're way down bottom right there. The service maintenance area in the turntable. I think you can get away with a little faster than 30 around here, but I like to generally only do about 30 in the yards. Especially that curve that we just went around. That I wouldn't do more than 30 over. But if it's straighter, then you can do more. Well, the main yard here does have a speed limit of 50. That's right. Like if you're going straight down the center line, you can just blow through at 50 miles an hour. It's fine. Everything's dead straight. I wouldn't go down one of the sidings at 50 though, even if it's clear. Boy, not have the remote control. I'm so used to having the remote control, we're probably not going to have it for a while. That might be the first thing I buy, though. Well, a couple of licenses, but that remote control is extremely useful. Now, of course, the game does not care if you blow the whistle for the crossings, but I do. Did I throw the switches right? Yeah, that's the one I want. Yep. So thankfully, even though I'm not at the controls, I can use my buttons. If I was in VR, I'd have to be working the controls by hand. Which, I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal. You just have to be standing here. Although you'd have to keep working the controls and then looking backwards. I mean, in real life, what the engineer would do is kind of sit on the windowsill, and he'd have his one hand back at the controls, and if you're doing it long enough, he knows what the controls are without looking at them. That's basically what I'm doing by using the buttons. Yield, buffer, and chain couplers. A lot of people want, once the modding support becomes better with this game, a lot of people want knuckle couplers to be modded in. I think it looks like it wouldn't be too hard to change out the couplers, but you'd have to figure out the physics, but I don't think it's too easy to get rid of the buffers. But I mean, you could have buffers and couplers. It could work. Knuckle couplers. Okay, now we're hooked up and ready to go. Now we start the job. 4. I gotta remember that 4 instead of 6. Muscle memory. Yes, I am. I did. Okay, now what I'm gonna do. Yeah, okay, thank you. Hey, no more tutorial. Of course, if you've never played this game before, that tutorial is very useful, but I played it for that long. So what I'm going to do, I'm in this big brain. I'm gonna back that way, and then line myself to the main line. Basically, I want to leave here with all the switches lined to the main, so that next time I come in, I don't have to worry about throwing a switch. Of course, that's not that big a deal when you're just putzing around with the switcher. But when you're coming in with the steam engine coming up the hill at like 40 miles an hour trying to keep your speed up, but then the switch is set to the siding, that sucks. I've almost crashed a couple times because of that. So I've gotten myself into a habit of making sure I leave the switches set for the main before I leave any city or switching yard or whatever. I mean, especially oil wells. You definitely want to make sure those are set to an empty track. Yep, slipping the wheels. Okay. I don't know if you heard that little high-pitched whine, but that's slipping the wheels. You don't want to do that because wheel damage is pretty expensive to repair. Although, in the very beginning of the game, when your copay is only $100, you really don't care. You can do whatever the hell you want, and it's like, oh look, I just smashed into the tankers at Oil Well Central and did like billions of dollars of damage. Good thing my copay is $100. That switch back there doesn't matter, but I'd rather it be straight, but it really doesn't matter. Actually, I should have done this before starting the job. That would have been really big brain. But whatever. Probably gonna need some sand here because I just switched directions and this is slightly uphill, I think. Yeah, let's throw the sand on. Wakey wakey. No? The brake's still on? No. Come on. It's not that heavy, is it? No, it's like 200 tons, wasn't it? Oh, almost 300. Yeah, that's pretty good for the one switcher. Yeah, we coupled to the... Okay, we go to Goods Factory, D51. I always say 1, but it's I. Okay, turn off the sand. We're moving. Some speed up. And once we get out of the yard here, it's downhill, so that's gonna build us up a little bit. Did I throw the switch for the stupid little tutorial yard that we're never gonna use again? I don't think I did, so I gotta be careful. Long, long, short, long is the American way of signaling for a crossing. That's... Now, technically, I'd like to get my health... Maybe I'll do it during the stream. I'll try to make the habit of it. Like, whenever you start moving, you're supposed to blow the whistle. 2 short blasts for forward, 3 short blasts for back. There's also other codes with the whistles, but those are the common ones. The forward and back and the crossing. Yep. I thought I left that. Okay, we will never have to throw that switch again because we will never have to go in there again. I don't know, unless you wanted to like RP that you own an engine and you want to park it in there or something. It only lasts for 2 hours when you're not with it anyway. Or actually, you could maybe park the caboose in there because there's not really any place to park it in the steel mill. Well, really, what I do with the caboose and the steel mill is just park it at the very end of the loading track, and that's fine because the loading track of the steel mill is very long. Speed limit 70. We're going downhill. I don't know if we're still going downhill. Yeah. So, game's called Derail Valley. The best way to derail is to overspeed. Like if you don't have to go much over the speed limit to derail. Sometimes you can derail right at the speed limit. Not usually. Well, if you want to use passenger cars, then you're really going to derail a lot because they're so long that they derail really easily on curves, especially a switch on a curve. A switch on a curve will derail you really easily. Of course, the passenger jobs is a mod. Base game, you don't use the passenger cars. You can spawn them in, but there's no use for them. And there's a mod that chops the passenger cars shorter, and then they don't derail much. But they don't look as good shorter, I think. And then this last, not too long ago, I noticed people complaining about the shortened passenger cars, like causing some other kind of error. I mean, that's what you get with mods, is you don't know what might happen. And then if you have errors or crashes with mods, then you can't report it or anything. Nobody's going to help you because you're using mods. But yeah, the main mods I just have are the skin manager, so I can have all the different skins, and I forget what the mod is called, so that you can reskin the containers. You can reskin the containers, and I found a skin mod for the tractors, so that they're green and yellow like John Deere tractors. And I don't think that can really cause any trouble. Maybe a little bit of lag. The containers one I wasn't able to run before I built this computer. It just lagged me down way too much. But I think there was something wrong with my old motherboard. Actually, I took all of my old computer parts and put them in a different computer case. It's a smaller case. Everything's really scrunched in there tight. But technically, it would work. It does work. It seems to work. But it's got my very, very old hard drive and very, very old video card in it. NVIDIA 9800 GT video card. It's like 10 years old, but you know what? It still works pretty damn good for what it is. You know, I'm pretty sure with all my old computer parts the way they are, if I had a hard drive with enough space on it, anyway, I could play World of Warcraft on it still, and probably vanilla Minecraft, without the settings cranked up too much. Mods, no, but vanilla, I think you could play on it. And that computer's 10 years old. I tell you, it still chugs along if you want to use it. I'm gonna give it to somebody eventually, family friend or whatever. Just haven't gotten around to it. The case that I put all the parts in, though, the funny thing is, I have one of the old parts that goes with it is the old CPU cooler, and it's this big boxy cooler thing with the radiator fins in it and stuff. You know, my new build has a cooler too, but this one's like a really big boxy one, and everything just kind of squeezes into this old case, just barely squeezes into it. I had a hard time getting it all together, but it is together. But that cooler sticks out so far. Is this thrown? That cooler unit sticks out so far that you can't put the side panel of the case back on. It sticks out too far. I tried to put the side panel on. It's like, oh, damn. Oh, this is a 5. Oh, hell. Oh, that's fine. I'm so used to driving the steam engine where the top number up here is like 60 instead of 50. You know, each notch is 20 miles an hour instead of 10. But I was fine. Now I slowed down way too much. I overbraked like I always do. But anyway, yeah, the CPU cooler sticks out so far you can't put the side panel on. But besides that, it does all work. What I'll do for it is what I did for the case that I'm still using with all the new parts in it, is I'm just going to get some wood and build a little frame, and then staple it looks like kind of a wood picture frame, and then staple an air conditioner filter on the inside of that frame. Oh, yeah, sand. And there you go, you got a side panel. You're going to have all the air cooling you could ever want now, And it's got a filter, so hopefully most of the dust doesn't get in. That's the way my main tower is set up. Has been for a long time. You know, it looks a little funny, but who cares? Works good. Just trying to get back up to speed because I slowed down way too much for that switch. Now we're climbing. I'm so used to manually servicing my engine, and I'm not going to be able to do that for a while. Although it wouldn't make sense to do it for a while either because the copay is so cheap. That's a bit much. Just gotta watch that light for your wheel slip. And we're burning through sand, but sand is a lot cheaper than wheels. You know what? That's probably pretty good. We're almost there. You can see that overhead line. That's the line that goes from harbor up to a military base eventually. But we're going under that, which is pretty nice. And once we cross under that, we're in goods factory. I mean, you can see the city right there, so we're just about there. And the temperature's doing okay. This engine does tend to overheat a lot. If you run this engine backwards, since the only engine is up at this end, and that's where the cooling fans are, so if you run it backwards, then you're really going to overheat the hell out of it. And if it overheats too much, it shuts off and causes engine damage, so don't do that. When I first got MU, a multiple unit, I would take two of these switchers and put them back to back, which is really nice for switching because you can just flip back and forth between the two engines, especially before you get the remote. Okay, I gotta pay attention to switches. But if you're doing a long journey from one city to the next, say, okay, that's all good. Then that back engine facing the wrong way will overheat and shut off. So basically, if you're switching in one place, then you have them facing back to back, so that you can always see forward and see the gauges when you're switching. But when you're going out on a journey, then you want them both facing the same way forward. So every city and switchyard has a turntable, or this one doesn't have a turntable, but it has a reversing loop, so you can just go around the loop and you're facing the other way. Now we're going kind of slow. Now we're going to back into 5I, so I want to turn here. There's the passenger cars for the passenger jobs mod. That's the other major mod I have besides the skins. That's the only thing that really changes the gameplay. Like if you turn off the passenger, if you remove the passenger jobs mod without doing it correctly, you can lose all your saved data, I think. Which is kind of the reason why I didn't do it for a while. Like, I kept seeing the passenger mod getting updated, like it would be out, and then, like, maybe a few days or a week later it would get updated again. I'm like, I'm kind of worried about what happens when you update the mod. Are you going to lose your progress? So once it seemed like it settled down and he wasn't updating it all the time, that's when I said, I'm going to try out that passenger mod, and I'm glad I did. It's a lot of fun. Of course, on this save file, probably won't be doing it for a while because it's risky because the cars derail so easily. Unless you get the chopped cars, but I don't want to get the chopped cars. They don't look as good. Okay, 5I. I didn't blow for that last crossing, I think. Oops. Center is 4, 5. Now, there is enough room down at the end. I could have pulled straight in, actually, and then ran the engine around. Actually, I should have done that. It's faster. But for a while, I didn't realize you could do that. I didn't realize there was always going to be an empty track, or if there was enough room to do that with the engine. But with the switcher, there definitely is. I've done it with the steam engine, too, so there's enough room for any engine to do that. That's another thing when I come into the goods factory, I should really do that. Instead of doing what I just did, zigzagging across and backing in, just go straight along the loop and just pull straight into your 5i. Because that track, I guess it's technically not guaranteed to be open, but I've never seen cars parked on there when you first come in. Because I is for input. So that's the train that you bring in usually. I keep watching for the wheel slip. Yep, there she goes. Now, if I had the remote, I'd be just standing on the end of the car there with the remote. That's not going to be for a while. I'll probably get MU before the remote so that I can have more switching power, and it's good for on the road too. Two switchers or even three lashed up, you can do a pretty long train. I think the stopwatch to buy that is in the harbor. It's actually pretty useful for switching if you're trying to figure out if you're going to make your speedy bonus. It's just a nice thing to have, really. Because that speedy bonus makes a big difference. Well, especially if you do passenger jobs. That's almost all of the money from passenger jobs in speedy bonus. If you don't make the time with the speedy bonus, then it's not worth it to pull the passengers. Okay, they gave us 31 minutes and we did it in 16. Wow. Okay, when you're starting out, they give you a lot of leeway for that speedy bonus. Once you get all the licenses, you do not have much leeway. Yeah, I know. I gotta get my money. I want to see how much it is first. 8,500. That's pretty good for just starting out. How much money do we have? Gotta get in the sun so we can see the wallet. 10,580. I tell you, for just starting, I think that's decent. That's decent for just doing one little job. Pretty much you're going to want to do it. Now, I can do switching, right? I can't do long one, but I can... Let's see what my license is. Where's the lost and found? Now, lost and found is like a magical bank, basically. All of the stuff. Just any place you go to. Freight haul, train driver. No, you don't start off with the switching license. Oh wait, is there a switching license? Let me see. That's fees. Now, in order to buy a license, you have to pay off your fees. Which, since this is the very beginning, it would just cost you $100 to do. Train driver, freight. Oh, shunting. Shunting is $1,000. Wow. Yep. You need a. That's weird. You would think that you would start off being able to do shunting, but you would have to pay $1,000 to do a freight haul. You would think it would be that because freight hauls are worth a lot more than shunting. Shunting. Well, I guess I kind of understand that though, because shunting is kind of like free money. Like you get there and you're like, oh, I can do all this. Like this one's worth 3,800. 405 tons, I could do it, but it's gonna be rough. Unload, so it's gonna be 405 tons until I unload it. Probably go straight around the loop since I don't have the remote. Although you're going to have to do a lot of reversing one way or the other. 330 tons, that's a little bit easier. Oh, long one. Burp. I don't have long one yet. Long one. Long one. Shaky breaky. This one is not a long one. This one is just switching. Oh, that's to unload the cars we just brought in. $4,000. So I guess I should buy my shunting license. How much is long one? Logistical haul is so you can haul empties around. That's 20,000. Wow. MEU is 30,000. Annual service, which we're not going to need for a little while. And Current jobs 10,000. Train length 1, 10,000. I think we're gonna buy switching. We have to, really. Alright, $100. Boy, that low copay is nice. Alright, shunting. Now we can do a switching job. And if you're not an American, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying switching instead of shunting. Shunting is just a word I never use. I actually worked on a short line railroad for about a year, where we did a lot of switching with a 44 tonner, which is a lot like the switching engine that we use here in this game. It's the American version, basically, of this engine, and it's a lot older. I think this engine is based off of a real engine from like 70s or 80s. The 44 tonners were from very early diesel, first gen diesel, so like late 40s they started coming out. 4. Okay, so I can do that. Unload the train that I just brought in. That's long one, that's long one, that's long one. That's passenger jobs. That's a license I don't have. Passenger jobs. You need some. I think I would need MU before trying passengers, because I'd want some speed. Because you have to slow down a lot for switches, and then you want to be able to really quickly speed back up as soon as you get over a switch or a tight curve. The steam engine is great for passenger jobs, but I would think 2 switchers back to back would be nice for passenger jobs too. Because those switchers, they have a hard limit with how much they can haul. Yeah, I'm still connected to this actually, so we're just going to start it. They have a hard limit to how much they can haul, but they are, for their size, they're really nice, peppy little engines, I tell you. They're a lot more powerful than they probably should be, in all honesty. These little switchers. Okay. Out 5i, unload it. B2, B3. Are we still hooked up? Did I unhook it? We're still hooked up. Good. No. The engine's shut down because I paid it off, the fees. Means we got a full tank again, though. We still got air? Okay, thank God. I was worried they blew my air when they reset the engine. That would have sucked. Actually, since we're doing, let's see, B2 and B3, we want to go straight around the loop. That's actually better than backing up. Usually, I'm in the habit of stopping right after this crossing and backing through the diagonal part and backing into the loading track, but we're actually better off going straight. I've been playing this for so long, and I only realized that recently. Like this yard here, yeah, you want to back into, but you'll see what I mean when we get there. Makes more sense. The only downside of going this way is that you have to go straight down through that tunnel a bit before you can stop to throw the switch, and you can't see much through the tunnel. And on top of that, when you're going down through that tunnel, it's actually a pretty steep downhill slope there. So, which means you go down that little slope, you stop, and then you gotta back up the slope. It's just like Steel Mill. Steel Mill has a hump like that too. It's a little trollish, but it is realistic. Let me know if I'm driving you nuts with my whistle blowing. Maybe I'll stop doing it as much. It's just kind of habit. I need to do it whenever I move. 2 blasts for forward, 3 blasts for back. I never remember to do that. Are these my O&W or nope? Those are the actual Pennsylvania skins. Beautiful. To see how nice the long cars look. I'm sure they won't look as good as they were short. And the skins would probably get messed up too. The good news is we're unloading here, so when we go down the hill and back up, we'll be empty. So it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, that is B2 with all those stake... No, that's B3. This one is B2. Okay. I should be looking at the schematic map to figure it out, but once again, I've been playing this for so long. I know this yard, but I know all the yards by heart pretty much, except the logging camp ones. I never really did many logging jobs, because the problem with the logging camps is you can't... There's no maintenance facilities at the logging camps. Are we clear back there? Or do I have to keep moving? We're good. It's a short train. But the logging camps don't have any way to manually service. And Sawmill doesn't either, so you're kind of screwed out there in the mountains. Oh, right, it's over there. I always forget. For some reason, this thing is way over here for this yard. But actually, when I think about it, the best time to do logging stuff is now, when you're first starting the game. Because it only costs you $100 to refuel and reset everything. Because that's what the copay is. Once you start getting more and more licenses and the copays go up, then you don't want to keep doing that. Okay, 100. 100 is the one that goes over the 3. Okay, the rest goes to 2. 3? This is 2, right? Yeah. It's 12:39. My sleep schedule's all over the place, and lately, like 12:30 at night, I only woke up at like 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, so it's like afternoon for me now, even though it's not. It's the middle of the night. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start streaming. I kind of made a delayed New Year's resolution to myself that I'm gonna stream again. And I don't know about making LPs because it's just more work than streaming. And actually, my YouTube channel is not... I can't monetize it because they gave me a shot years and years ago to monetize my YouTube channel. This was back when monetization was still pretty new. I was like, oh, I can monetize. And, I had a couple of videos. They gave it to me. This was around the time of Hurricane Irene. And I had one video of the Hurricane Irene flood damage around town and stuff. And it got like a ton of views just over the weekend because everybody was looking for footage of this freaking hurricane. So, of course, it was technically a tropical storm for us, but the flooding was insane. But anyway, that one video got a lot of views, so they offered me monetization. I was like, oh, okay. I can make money on YouTube. I already was making YouTube videos for years, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try that. So I got... The way it works, as far as I can understand, is, at least in the beginning, is every time you make $100, they give you a check, right? I think once you start making more, it's probably a better system than that. But that's how it starts. But I made it to, like, my first $50. And then they said that there was inactive click activity, which I don't know where that came from. I mean, I told my friends, I'm like, hey, my videos are monetized, so watch them. I told them not to just click on them and then leave. I told them you gotta actually watch the videos. Anyway, long story short, I guess they thought that I was getting too many clicks. So they took away my monetization after I was about $50 into my first $100. And that was it. You know, years and years later, I try to monetize and it says, nope, it's disabled for this account. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I think what I'm going to do if I get into streaming now, start streaming a lot, I'm going to make a second uh, YouTube account just for my Twitch VODs. Because my original YouTube account is so old anyway, and all those LPs are either complete or I haven't touched them in so many years, I'd have to just start over anyway. But, so yeah, I'm probably going to make a new account for VODs. Who knows, maybe they'll just look at my other account and say, nope, you can't do it. Or maybe they'll forgive me because it's been like 7 years since I tried it. What am I doing? No. I need the other flat cars. Talking too much, not paying attention. But yeah, I figure I'll make a second YouTube account for my VODs. Let's see, hey. If I get popular, I get popular. Who knows? It's a very demanding market nowadays. Everybody and their mother is streaming and making YouTube videos nowadays. But, you know, there's a chance, I guess. I love the classics, yeah. God, I had so many, like, Russian viewers because I played, like, the old Russian truck games, like Hard Truck 2, and, even the earlier 18 Wheels of Steel's games. Eligible for Twitch affiliate. Oh, that sucks. That's what I'm hoping for now, though, Bern, is I'm trying for affiliate. I'm gonna start streaming more and see if I can get affiliate. And hey, if I get like $20 now and then or something like that, I don't know how the hell it works, but if I get a tiny bit of money every once in a while, that'd be neat. Okay, these I'll go on track over. But I kind of made a resolution to do that because I just got. I don't want anybody to get political here, but I just got my check for the COVID. What do they call it? The $600 that everybody got. The stimulus, I guess. And so, last time when the stimulus came out, it was $1,200, which I spent pretty fast because we had an old dog who needed to go to the vet a couple of times. I think we had a cat that went to the vet too. That was most of the money, and then I think a pipe broke or something. There was something that I had to spend the rest of it on. So that money went pretty quick. And what they did for that one, the first one, is they gave us the money on a card. So it was like almost you had a debit card without a bank account. And in the letter with that card, they said that if there's more stimulus money, they'll just add it to the same card. Well, guess what? They didn't do that. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh, I went too far. I just needed to go in here. Silly man. So this time, they gave me just a regular paper check. I'm like, what am I going to do with a paper check? I haven't had a bank account in 10 years. Well, what I did is we called around. I had my mom call around for me. And she found out that at a credit union, you can have bank accounts, and as long as you have like $1 of a balance, they will not charge you any monthly fees. You know, there's no overdraft protection, I think, so you can get in trouble if you try to take out too much. But all you need is like $1 in the account, and you're fine. So that's what I did with my $600. I put it in a credit union, so now I have a bank account. I linked it up with PayPal, so who knows? Maybe someday I'll make some kind of income. Who knows? Listen, I've been a hermit for like 10 years. I don't leave the house or anything. It's an ongoing problem. Long story short. Your PayPal. I need my own bank account. $50 to open it. Right. Good. Yeah. Don't let anybody try to tell you how to. That stimulus money is yours. Don't let somebody else say, you know what, we need that for something. It's yours. I chose with my first one to help out around the house and help the dog because the dog needed to go to the vet and everything like that. But this one, I said, you know what, this one's mine. And actually, I say I'm putting it in the account, but guess what? I am going to spend it on something for the house, probably. Probably pay some bills or something. I don't know, but I'm going to keep some of it. And now I'll have a bank account so that if somehow I get like popular or something and start making something from Twitch, I'll have a bank account. Yeah, for my like 10 cents a month or whatever I'm going to make from Twitch. Yeah. The only thing that I might spend it on, that I have an idea right now that I'm going to spend it on for me, and I'm gonna use my willpower and not do it. But I've been kind of wanting to play World of Warcraft again because it's been so long, and I have so many nostalgic memories of it. Oh, what am I doing? I'm done. And but the thing with WoW, it's freaking $15 a month. There's no way around it. It's a lot of money. So I don't know. I might do that. You get a little bit of a deal if you get like 6 months at a time. But still, I don't know. I don't know. The good thing about WoW right now is is the leveling system. They like chopped all the levels in half, so like level 100 is now level 50, etc. So all of my characters that were maxed out at level 20 that you can play for free up until 20. Now they're level 10, so I can play them for 10 levels. Oh, VTuber stuff. Yeah, VTuber stuff very popular now. Yeah. OnlyFans. No. You're gifted Shadow Lands in WoW time? Uh, I hate that. I think I had like a free month or two of WoW time once and I barely used it and it pissed me off. And it wasn't even something like that where I was too busy. I just didn't do it. That's insane. Well, VTubers is the new I mean, just look at the popular ones. They are reckoning so much. I mean, it's good content. I've fallen down the rabbit hole. I watch them. Not all of them and not all the time, but it's good content. Maybe, Yep. The VTuber thing is neat. Now with my new computer rig setup, I could technically be using my webcam all the time. With any game I play, my computer would be able to handle it. Yes, yes, just my bare avatar. Yes, no effort. That is what I would do. I would just like find a way to animate my bear avatar wherever that originally came from. I think it came from some kind of Final Fantasy game, maybe? Question mark. I have no idea. Somebody found it, showed it to me, and I said, "That's it. That's my thing." But yeah, just make the mouth move up, and go. That's all I need. Shrug my shoulders now and then or something. There we go, VTuber. But yeah, I could technically be using my webcam. But with a game like this, though, I wouldn't. I don't really know how I would set it up. Like I don't have the chat on stream either because the game takes up the whole screen. So the chat would have to be. I'd have to figure out how to do the chroma key thing. I still don't know how to do that. I know it's not that hard, but I never figured it out. But you'd have to do the chroma key thing and have it overlay on the side, and then it would block some of the action. So it's either that or you shrink the game enough so that you can squeeze the chat on the side. I, I'm of the opinion that you pretty much need 2 monitors if you want to stream. Even without streaming, you really need 2 monitors. I've had 2 monitors for like 7 years or something, and I'd never go back. Even if I had one great big monitor, I'd still rather have 2 regular ones. In fact, I'm thinking of adding a third one, maybe if I can find a cheap one, like on Facebook Marketplace or something. Like sometimes I see somebody selling a monitor for like $20-30. I'm like, yeah, throw on another monitor. My computer can handle it usually, I think. Oh, this is long one. I don't have long one. These are all long ones, right? I don't have logistical haul yet. All right, we got 2 options. We can do a freight haul. That is long one, and too heavy. That is long one. Actually, I don't even know if logistical haul. Nope. Okay, there's one freight job. The machine factory for 5,000. That's horrible. If I got long one, I could do that switching job for 3,800. Just barely 405 tons. I could do that. Okay, I think I pretty much just almost pay off long one right away. So, yes. Oh, what is this? Now, before I fixed up my computer, I would say that I couldn't look at the link because I was running very lean, basically. But now I can. Ah, yes, all the monitors, yes. If I had the space, maybe. I mean, it's not a bad idea because nowadays people get like a big curved monitor or something else, or like they use like a big fancy TV and use it as. But anyway, you take your regular like 19-20 inch monitor, and people are like, I don't want this thing, and put it on the marketplace for $20, and I'm like, okay, sure. Hell, I could even hook up my old CRT as a third monitor if I really wanted to, like just for like chat and stuff. But the problem with me is space. I don't have the space for a third. If I wanted a third monitor all the time, I'd have to put it up on, like there's a little like block of wood up next to my bed, and I'd have to put it up there, way over on the left. So I don't know if there's really any point for it, but I almost did it, and then I bought something else instead. I think the video card was about to die, and I had to get the video card instead, or the power supply, or something like that. But I was gonna get a third monitor just for the hell of it. Okay, so I want to get long one, which means I have to spend $100 to pay this off again. Just go haul 20,000. How much money do I have? I have 15,000. Maybe I can't afford to do anything. What's the long one? I can just afford long one. Okay, I think it'll pretty much pay for itself right now, just with these 3 switch jobs. Oh, how much did my copay go up? That's a good point. $3,000. See, I haven't had to start from scratch in a long time. Usually I look around at the different licenses and I say, oh, what's the copay for this? I know hazmat and military, the copays are insane. I didn't think long one was going to be that bad. I should have gone for logistical haul. Rip me. 3,000 copay. I didn't think it was going to go up that much. Oh well. We might be starting over. No, I'll figure it out. So now, always print it first. Yep. Or look at all you had to. Yeah, that's right. You do have to print it first. So now, okay, it's not going to tell me because I don't have any fees, but now it's going to cost me $3,000. So, I need, not that I can buy it now, but I need manual service next. That's 20,000. I'm going to be paying double fuel prices until I have 20,000 to get manual service. Good. Good. Alright, well, let me get my jobs. The good news is we can do these 3 jobs for not that much money. It pays off the license, but it doesn't pay that crazy copay. Okay. Unload. Load. Okay, so I gotta get some empties together. We'll save the big one for last. So that means I want this in 4. Yeah, I know. It went up from 100 to 3,000. I didn't think it was going to jump up that much. Yeah, you print it and you read it. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay. SL13. The engine's off. Right, okay, good. So I can take my time looking. It's not going to be this because I just brought that in. Wait, is it state cars am I looking for? Yeah. Okay, so these ones. Oh, not that. So 13, 11, 5. Oh. Okay, so get all the staked cars together because 13 and 5. I'm doing both of those. 5. 5. Okay, these are all 5s. Alright, leave them. Actually, really, the rule is one thing at a time, so just get the 13s together. So it's going to be these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cars. So we're looking for 5 more. Okay, is this a 13 or a 5? 13, that's for me. These are my other 13s, probably. There we go. Okay. So we're going to run around to the other end of this. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? A funny thing, when they train you, the tutorial, I just kind of skipped through it because I've been playing this for a while, but they always tell you to turn off both brake valves before you brake the airline and discouple. That's wrong, because if you do that, you're leaving the air charged up in the cars when you leave with the engine, which means they're going to roll, especially in this game where there's no hand brakes. That always annoyed me. And like, if you uncouple with the remote control, that's what it does. It closes both valves and before it brakes it, basically. So it leaves the cars charged up with air. And then when you come in and try to couple with something else, you're just going to bump them and they're going to roll because it's still full. The brakes don't come on until you blow the air. When I worked on my short line railroad for a year, one of the first things they taught, I was a brakeman / conductor trainee, and one of the first things they taught me was that you always blow the air whenever you leave any cars alone without the engine. That's what you do. You just close the valve, the angle cock, that's what it's called. You close it on the engine or the cars that you're taking with you, and you leave it open on the cars that you're leaving behind, and you turn away when it's making the break, and you hear the air blast off, and that's how you know you just dumped the air on the cars that you parked. So many times I watch people play this game and they don't do that. They close both angle cocks and bottle the air. That's what that's called. You're bottling the air, and a little bit later they'll be like, "Oh, these cars moved." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you didn't blow the air." It's just kind of, I mean, I don't understand people that never worked on the railroad to understand that, but I would expect the tutorial or the book. I don't remember if it was the tutorial or the book that told you to close both valves. I would expect that to tell you to leave one open so that you blow the air. But maybe that's how they do it in Europe. I don't know. Well, and also, I should say, when you're a bigger railroad and time is more important, I can understand blowing the bottling the air. I mean, because the thing with blowing the air every time is that whenever you rehook up to a car, you got to pump the air back up. And unlike the way it works in this game, it takes a while to pump that air back up. I think it takes like, it's a sliding scale, but I think it takes like at least 5 minutes to pump up the air in a car, and then you add more time per car, but it's not 5 minutes per car. It's like a sliding scale. It's like starts at 5 and then you add like 1 or 2 minutes per car or something like that. But that's what you got to do. You don't have to fully pump it up to be able to move, but you got to at least get the brakes most of the way released. But of course, if you're a bigger railroad with a bigger engine with a lot of power, then what you do is you just drag the brakes around. The reason why I keep pulling up that job is I keep hitting 5 for my remote, but I don't have the remote because this is a new save. Just muscle memory. I'll be lazy and not do a full toot for that one. Now, since this is not going to be super heavy and we're not going a long distance, it won't make that big of a difference. But we are running with the engine backwards now. That's the one downside of going around the loop the way I did in the beginning. So if I was doing something really heavy or going long distance this way, the engine would be overheating on me. But no, I didn't go far enough. I always look at the wrong switch for this. I'm so 9 times out of 10 they don't use this tiny little siding, but I always look at the wrong switch flag for it. So yeah, gotta back up a little bit. Now I think I'm playing this on hard. I think hard only makes it so that the rewards for doing a job aren't worth as much. I don't think it changes like this copay that jumped up to 3,000. I think that would have happened on normal too. I think I'm not sure though. Maybe that was part of it. Maybe that's why the copay was so much. I don't know. I just thought of that. So I've started a new save a couple of times in this game. I've played it so much, and I always forget the best way to start. What am I doing? Sometimes my brain doesn't work too good. I try to hook up the air first because just to give it a couple extra seconds to pump up the car. Oh, this color scheme on this engine, by the way, I kind of mentioned it, but M&NJ, that's the short line that I worked on for a year. I made it, which is why it's kind of, the lines don't match up too good, and there's random yellow marks and blue marks where they don't belong, because I wasn't really too sure how to make it, but it's better than nothing. I'm working on an O&W one, but oh man, that's got 5 lines to match up from the front to the side, and that's a pain in the ass. There is a better way to do skinning, where you take the model that you're trying to skin and you put it in a 3D model program somehow, and then you can just kind of paint on it directly instead of trying to paint the little skin file. But I never really figured out how to do that. So I do it the old-fashioned way, and it's a pain in the ass. I did not blow for the crossing. Oh no. The railroad cops are going to come get me. Actually, not railroad cops. That's wrong. Railroad cops are for, like, people trespassing and stuff. The FRA. The FRA is going to come get me. Yeah, those are my other cars. Now, if I was really worried about the engine facing the wrong way, I could leave the empties parked here and drive the engine around the loop to turn it back around, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Famous last words. I'm only going to need full power a little bit just to get moving. By the way, this is the last day of snow in the valley, I think. I think they said it was only going to be a month, and they gave us snow for Christmas. So today's the 25th, so I think tomorrow there's going to be a small update that's going to get rid of the snow, and everything's going to be green again, and all the trees are going to have leaves again. It'll be nice. I will miss the snow, though. The snow was a very neat little gift they gave us for Christmas. Be nice if eventually they made like a seasonal thing where the snow comes every year for maybe a couple months instead of just one. That would be neat. Although there's also there's people that don't like the snow, and they're like, how do we get rid of the snow? I'm like, what do you mean get rid of the snow? It's awesome. I think some people, though, they do just dial back the version 1 set on Steam so that they still have the greenery. But I will say when I first started playing, when they first added the snow, it was a little weird because everything was like, the lighting was very different, and then the trees didn't have leaves and stuff like that. But you know, it's winter; the trees didn't have leaves. But I got used to it. It's nice. It's very pretty on the mountains and stuff. Okay. Oh, I didn't count my cars. This is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was pretty sure I had it, but okay. This is ready to go. And we're going to go straight around the loop again, and that way we'll turn the engine back around, basically. And I went the long way. 13. 36 minutes. We're going to easily beat that because we got the empties together first. At D1, B2, A3, yeah, that's all together. B1L, that's the loading track. Okay, then we go with D3. the whole trick with getting the empties together, I actually learned from Steve Kiverden. He's a streamer. He's not as popular as Squirrel, but he's friends with Squirrel. That's kind of how he got popular. He was on his streams a bit, and then he started his own stream. But anyway, I saw him playing this game once randomly, and he was doing the thing where he was looking at the job. See, I always thought that you had to start the job first in order to get the car numbers. I didn't realize that you could look at the job number, and then the job number was printed on the side of the cars. And I was like, oh, you can do that. And, that was it for me. That's what I always did after that. I never just blindly start a job anymore, because why would you when you could just get it all set up and ready to go, and then you'd save a few minutes at least. On off for the snow would be nice, yeah. Oh, hi, Jim. The thing with the snow is they added it at, like, the last minute. They said, you know what, we're going to give the players a Christmas gift. And they're like, here's snow. And it's like, oh, neat. But I think they did it so quick, they didn't come up with... Maybe next year they'll have a way to turn it on and off or something like that. I messed up my whistle blows a little bit. So, I guess this goes without saying, but the gameplay here is going to be kind of boring for probably the first few streams at least, as I'm trying to slowly build up money and get my licenses. And it's probably going to be even longer because I probably got the wrong license first. But in the beginning, we're just going to be driving the little switcher around and doing a lot of switching jobs. And switching is just kind of zigzagging around in the yards and stuff, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to get bored at. But I like switching. It's relaxing, I guess. I don't know. Had a holiday temp update. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, if it's not that hard to do, then yeah, that's a nice little not even Easter egg, but it's a nice little update that you can give people. Now, if I had the remote, I would be at the other end and stop the train as soon as we pass the marker for it, but I don't, so I'm just gonna run it all the way up to this marker. This loading track is actually pretty short for loading tracks, so sometimes they really squeeze every last car on it. We're on it good this time. Okay. Now what track are we going to? D3. Shove it all the way around again. Yes, it's not going to turn the engine around, but that's okay. Actually, it's not okay because I can't freaking see. Yeah, I could if I really wanted to do it, I could, but the thing is, I got the empties together ahead of time, so that means I have a lot of time to do this. So I might as well just run the engine around. It's really easy to do. I have to run through the passenger yard, but it's right there. It's not that big a deal. I can really speed too. Did I close that angle cock? I'm so used to leaving the angle cocks open because that's the safe way to do it. But if you're going to run around to the other edge of the train, what you got to do is you got to have the angle cock open to blow the air, but then close it. Because then you're going to hook up to the other end, and if you leave it open, then you're just going to pump the air in, and the air's just going to escape as fast as you're pumping it in. It's like, oh, why aren't the cars airing up? No, we're good. I think I did close it. I've finally getting myself into the habit of opening it and then closing it back. It took me a long time, but I am. It's the railroad that I worked on for a year, switching cars around. We never had a situation where we could run around. The yard wasn't big enough for that. So you just always leave the ankle cocks open on the cars that you parked. I'll be lazy and not do the whole whistle there. I got a little laggy. Anti-gravity racing game, huh? I kind of glossed over that part. That sounds neat. Kind of like F-Zero, maybe? Now this maintenance shed here, you cannot get any fuel from. Or wipe out. Okay, cool. Yeah. You can't get diesel, you can't get coal and water. The only thing you can do in this maintenance facility is do like body damage and sand, I think, wheel damage, maybe oil, but not fuel. It's really silly, actually. Oh, I didn't open it. Wow. Okay, now that I went through the trouble of doing that, we are going to go this way. I air it up, just see how quick it airs up. That is very unrealistic, but I don't really fault the game for that too much because nobody wants to sit around watching the air gauge to fill up before they can move. So, that's fine. They made it fast, that's fine. With the big diesel, the steam engine, the air pumps up really fast. And also, let me check. Yeah, the switcher here only pumps it up to 4. The diesel, the big diesel, and the steamer pumps it up to 6 bar. But the brakes are released after 4, but I guess with more air you get a little bit more braking before you run out of air, which would be good. Maybe a little bit better control over it too. This is heavy. No. We need sand. I can at least get sand here. I can't manually service yet though, so I better be a little careful with the sand, because if I run out, then I'm gonna have to pay a $3,000 copay. Final Fantasy VIII. My favorite Final Fantasy, because it's the one that I grew up with. Really, if I grew up with Final Fantasy VII, then that's probably what would have been my favorite, but I started up with 8. That's good enough. Let's see. Now we have to play the game of peek through the houses and try to guess when we're past the switch. Maybe I should have done it the other way around, but now the engine is facing the way I want it to, though. I think that's got to be good. It's probably way too far, but whatever. 8 is superior. That's what I always say. I mean, it's definitely superior graphics wise. That's the thing that I never understood growing up is everybody would go on about Final Fantasy VII, and I'm like, but look at them, they look like Lego characters or something. The reason why, too, I've come to learn. Okay, we're going to 3, which there's other cars parked on. But the reason why the characters look like that is because Final Fantasy VII was originally designed, like when they first started making it and stuff. It was made, yeah, there you go, N64. And then they realized, hey, we can go to PlayStation. That's a lot better. But they already started making it for N64, so that's why it looks the way it does. Final Fantasy VIII was, I guess, must have been, it was the first one made specifically for PlayStation. So they were able to go full ham with the graphics, with all the pre-rendered stuff, and then the character models and everything. Man, Final Fantasy VIII was a big game changer. I think I'm about at the crossing. Yeah. 8 is very unique. The biggest problem with 8 is it's too easy to break the game. Which, of course, I guess because I was young and just didn't realize it at the time. I never broke the game because I didn't realize how easy it was. But, you could draw the right kinds of magic and make the cards and everything, and you could make it way too easy. But if you don't break the game, then it's not that easy. So it's kind of like open like that. If you choose to get all the right magic and the cards and stuff, and then you and keep your level low enough, then you go up to like one of the major bosses and kill it in like 2 rounds or something, and it's ridiculous. But if you don't do that, then it's still a challenging game. It's a fun game. And 8 was supposed to be like mostly the story was the biggest thing in the graphics and all that. And some people don't like the story because it is, I will admit, it is mostly just like a love story, which is not really the best thing for a Final Fantasy game. I'm sticking my head out the window, just pretend it opens. Oh, so you missed out a bunch of GFs, huh? Squall is not dead, although I do understand the theory. I mean, I really understand the theory because, how do you get a giant icicle stabbed through your chest and be alive? But I will say, based on the cutscene, it did look like it missed his heart. But still, there's lungs there, too. Yes, none of us ever existed. Good. Yes, we'll go that route. I think I have enough speed. I learned this from switching with a steam engine. To just kind of ride it. Yeah, we got just enough speed to do this, and we're going way slow, so. Ta-da. Now we just added 3 more cars that we gotta shove back. Although, oh, is that the marker? Actually, we really don't need to shove, we need to shove back a tiny, tiny bit. I think it would take it like that. Actually, you know what? Let's get our speedy bonus. It'll take it like this. After we turn in the job, I'll shove it back a little bit more. Just because I'm kind of anal like that. But technically, it just needs to be clear of the switch. It doesn't have to actually be past that sign. That's it, right? Hey, they gave us 36 minutes and it only took us 14. That's because we got all the flat cars all together. I mean, I think we would have gotten it anyway. 36 minutes is a lot of time. Because some of the licenses take away how much time you get for the speedy bonuses too. Okay, I guess we'll get the others. The other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stake cars. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, all here? Did I put them together already? Oh, 05. Maybe some of them are logistic calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, they're all together. Either they started off all together or I already did it. 12 minutes. I must have already did it. Okay. Without even trying. I just gotta get this little flight car out of the way. Alright, cool. Or I can just come around the loop and grab it from this end and yank it. Yeah, we'll just do that. Might get a little confusing with flipping the engine around back and forth, but whatever. It's not that big a deal. Alright. Even though I don't have to, I'm going to back this up a little bit more. So, Chimp, if you never knew about drawing from bot, let me guess. I'm testing myself now. It's been so long since I actually played it or watched somebody play it. Let's see. You missed out on... The first one you can draw is from the boss at the top of the tower, Elveret. And the thing that's GF you draw from there would be Siren? I think that's Siren. And I guess she had some good junction stuff, but as far as the GF that you use, you never really use Siren that much, because most things that you fight that are powerful enough to worry about using a GF are probably going to be immune to silence. But, you know, she does do damage too. But I remember Siren was not one that I used a whole lot. I mean, I'm sure the junctions and the other abilities were important. So that's the first one. Actually, I will be right back. I need more water. So I'll just have some music. You guys can hear the music now, right? I mean, it's probably a little low. Why is there no volume slider until you freaking maximize it? And then there's a volume. Why? There. That's a little better. There you go. I went through this playlist, by the way, and I tried to get rid of anything that would possibly get me DMCA'd. Which was unfortunate, because you know how I am with music. I like all sorts of music. Anywho, I'll be right back. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. It always gets a little warmer before it snows. Yeah, it needs to be like I should probably mute my mic when I do that, huh? Now, if I'm gonna start streaming more often, I gotta learn all the pro streamer stuff, like, muting the mic when you're getting up and going to the bathroom and coming back. I had to fix the shower curtain a little bit too in there. There's this hoop of pipe that the shower curtain hangs off of. If that makes any sense, it's a very old bathtub. It's the old clawfoot bathtub, and it has 3 shower curtains that go all the way around the whole thing. Webcam action. Wait, webcam's not on, right? You're scaring me. Yes. Oh, right. To be a pro streamer, yeah, I gotta use the webcam, yeah. Just make sure, yeah, everything's working. For some things, like if I do trucking streams, I will get the webcam working, because I think I can make room for it. The webcam's not gonna look at me, though. The webcam's gonna look at the wheel. Because that's what's important. It's why. Alright. You guys can hear the music, right? Hopefully, all this time. You should be able to. It's probably still quiet, though. Yeah, okay. I don't. A little. Yeah, it's still quiet. I don't get why this is... Like, I have to, like, manually go into this thing. I don't know if you guys stream, but do you have to crank up the desktop audio this much when you do it? Seems like kind of crazy that I'm turning it up so much, but usually this mic is too quiet, but not now. 6. So I got desktop audio at 6 and the mic at 4.3 apparently. Okay. Yeah, whatever it is, I'll play with it later. Did I hook up yet? No, I'm done here. I've got my empties ready to go. I remembered I had to think for a second because I just did a little project in the bathroom. Are we zigzagging or are we going around the loop? I think I want to zigzag actually because right now I've got the engine facing the way I want it. I'd rather keep it that way. So anyway, there's like this hoop pipe that the shower curtain hangs off of. And the way the pipe attaches to the ceiling is it fits up into like a fitting that's screwed into the ceiling, if that makes any sense. And the only way that it attaches to this fitting, because it's not like a real pipe fitting, is there's a set screw in the side that tightens against the side of the pipe that's hanging down with the heavy shower curtain on it. Well, guess what? Set screws kind of suck because all they do is you tighten it up and it tries to. I thought I put it in reverse, but all you do is you tighten it up and it puts pressure against the side of the pipe, but it doesn't actually thread into the pipe that's hanging that you're trying to hold in there. If that makes any sense. So every once in a while. The whole big hoop with the shower curtain on it falls down on somebody's head. It's just gonna happen every once in a while. That happened this morning to Mom. It usually happens to me, but this time it happened to Mom, and I was like just falling asleep. Granted, I was trying to fall asleep at like 10 in the morning, which is bad anyway, but I was just falling asleep. Mom walks in, oh, the shower curtain's broken, you gotta fix it. Okay. Why it was so important to fix it when nobody else was going to take a shower the rest of the day, but whatever. So you back out the screw, you get the pipe back in the fitting, and then you tighten the screw down as good as you can, but eventually it slips out no matter what you do. I hate set screws. They never work good enough. I want to zigzag now. The only way to really fix it so that it would never happen again is if you get a drill with the right size drill bit, which I don't have. I don't have drill bits small enough, and even if I did, they wouldn't be any good in metal. But you got to get a drill and drill a hole so that when you put the set screw in, instead of it just kind of tightening in against the side of the pipe, the screw would actually go in a hole. It wouldn't thread in the hole, but at least the end of the screw would go in the hole, and then there would be no way for the pipe to slip out unless you unscrewed the screw, or the screw broke. Then it would be fixed for life. But I don't have a drill bit the right size, and trying to drill a hole into the side of a little pipe, that's tricky. And you'd have to do it up by the ceiling, and it'd be a pain in the ass. Now the getaway to attempt to fix it, which I might actually do, is to just go up there with a big bunch of freaking duct tape. Once you tighten down that set screw, you just wrap the whole thing in duct tape, and maybe you'll get a good enough seal with the duct tape against the pipe to keep it from sliding a bit longer. But then when it does eventually slip out after that, then the whole thing's going to be all sticky from the tape, you know? And so is it worth it? I don't know. Every time I tighten the set screw and get it to work, it lasts for a while, so then we say, it's fixed now. And, you know, it's just long enough for everybody to forget about it, and then, whoops, the shower curtain fell on somebody's head. What's in this store? I'm sure I can't afford it, whatever it is, but I'll look. Oh, that might be the golden shovel. Alright, Maverick, driving the locomotive from out here on the end. I'm just, you know, it's okay. I got like 15-foot long arms. I just reach in and hit the controls. It's fine. Listen, I don't bother myself with that kind of stuff too much, because there's no way in real life one single person would do all this switching and running trains like that. No, you would have one person run the engine and another person hook up the cars and stuff. So, I don't mind the fact that I do stuff like that or use the remote. Oh, I left the other end open. Guys, I thought I'd closed the angle cock, but I didn't. Actually, I'm going to leave this car behind anyway, but... Oh, there's Final Fantasy VIII again. So, because I'm worried about DMCA stuff, I had to get rid of some of the songs in my playlist. So we might hear some other songs more often, like, say, Final Fantasy VIII. Because I know I can do video game songs. Okay, 05. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 staked cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got air. Now, if I really wanted to save time, I could actually, with a switching job, like a loading job like this, if you actually put the empties on the loading track before you start the job, it won't let you start the job. But you could, like, park the train, like, right there, right before the loading track, so that all you have to do is back up the length of the train. But I give it a little grit. I'll leave the train here and at least zigzag while I'm on the clock. I don't want to cheat that much. I mean, it's not really cheating, but, you know, whatever. 4. Now, the challenging thing for me is going to be to only play this game now while I'm streaming, because I've been kind of obsessed with it, playing. But I think I kind of decided to do this. Well, one thing, I want to stream a lot more often. And it's not only going to be this game, too. Sometimes it's going to be trucking with the wheel, or Minecraft. But I wanted to get myself to, like, diversify a bit. I've been playing this way too much. But I want to only play this now, this save file at least, during the streams. Everything I do is going to be on the stream. All of my mistakes, like I probably got the wrong license first. I mean, Long 1 is a good license to have, but I probably should have gotten like logistical haul first, because you can actually make quite a bit just hauling empty cars around, which is a little weird, but you can. So yes, take anybody playing at home, kids, print out each license before you buy it so that you see how much it's going to change your copay and how much it's going to change your speedy bonus thing. Don't do what I did and just blindly buy the first license you could afford and then, oh, look at the copay. It went up from $100 to $3,000. Yay. The ones that really jump it up are the military and hazardous cargoes. Those really balloon the copay. Those like go up tens of thousands of dollars. Like on my main save that I have backed up, the copay is like $2 million because I have all of the licenses. So, oh, you derailed? Well, you have insurance, but you gotta pay the copay. Oh, how much is the copay? Oh, like two point something million dollars. It's like, wait a minute. That's not a copay. That's not having insurance. But like, you whittle down the copay whenever you spend something on it. If that makes any sense. Like the last time I made an oopsie on my main save, I was switching out military base with loaded ammunition cars. How am I running up here? I don't have the remote. That's switched. I guess I was paranoid about the switch. But I was bringing loaded ammunition cars to the end of the loading dock at the military base to empty them out. And I don't know, I had another stream I was watching on the other monitor, and I guess I just wasn't paying attention enough, and I just didn't realize that I was as close to the buffer at the end of the track. Also, the loading dock at the loading track at military base is very short, so you really got to run the train right up to the end. But anyway, I hit the bumper at 15 miles an hour instead of 10. Sorry. Whenever I say miles an hour, just assume kilometers per hour. I'm American. I'm never gonna think in kilometers per hour. But anyway, I hit it at 15. And all 4 ammunition box cars just immediately, kaboom, exploded. The whole train just exploded. There were some flat cars on the siding next to it. They blew off the side of the track. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. It was just 5 kilometers too fast. And kablam, they all exploded. But because I guess different things that I paid for the console for a while, I whittled my copay down. The copay was only like $250,000. Only $250,000. So what am I doing? I'm loading now. D3 again? Game, there are other output tracks besides D3. I just dropped off 5 or 6, 7 cars on D3 loaded. So now when I get the D3, I'm going to have to shove those 7 plus another 3 behind it, plus these 5 cars back past... Oh boy. Little shunter. I hope you're up for it. That's going to be a lot more than 400 tons. I mean, I just have to move it slow. Just, back. I need to back up. What is this? 5 cars more? Oh boy, this shunter. If you're on level track, you can get away with quite a bit with this one shunter. Actually, it's supposed to be able to handle up to 400 tons, but actually, on level track, you can get away with like 500, 550. It's very slow. Like right now, we're not even at 400. I think we're at like 250 tons, and you can see how long it's taken to start up. Actually, I'm not flooring it as much and throwing on the sand because I've got plenty of time because I got the empties together ahead of time. So I'm not in a big rush to spin the wheels and stuff. Kind of a lazy whistle there, but whatever. But yeah, you can get away with a lot with the shunter on flat track. As soon as you start trying to go up hills and stuff, forget it. It might be rated at 400 tons, but if you're going up a big hill, you're going to have trouble with much more than this, like 250 tons. You're going to have the sand on full, you're going to have the throttle way up there, you're going to watch the temperature gauge just creeping up. Oh, why am I putting the brakes out already? We're not clear past the switch yet. Well, actually that worked. And we got about one more car. Well, I didn't blow for that crossing. Sorry. Hope nobody was watching. Sorry, FRA. Are we still switched for 3? I think we're still switched for 3, yeah. Yeah, we got to come in to this whole string of cars and shove it back about as long as the cars that I have. Yeah, 5 cars back. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. There's other output tracks. Usually it doesn't make you pile them all onto one track like that. Start blowing now. Yeah. You gotta watch that red light for the wheel slip. I'm pushing it. Well, this is fun because you gotta look out the right side for a little bit, then you gotta look out the left side. This is really fun when you're trying to switch with a steam engine because you get freaking not much vision with that to start with. Oh, whoa, we're getting there. Okay. Panic braking. I was expecting it to be longer for some reason. I gotta let the air back up. I kind of panic braked a little bit there. I was like, oh, we're closer than I thought we were. Yep, we'll just pretend Larry is in the engine. Hey Larry, you can probably cut off the throttle now. Hey Larry, he's not listening. Cut off the throttle. That's good enough. Hey, are we there? Well, they're all the same car. Okay, where's the marker? Wait, isn't that it? Where's the marker? I'm blind. There it is. I was on the wrong side of the train, you see. Oh, stretch. Yes, that's hooked. That's totally hooked. Yes, it's hooked. Okay. That worked. Somehow. Okay, that's already open. Alright, now we have to push everything past the marker. Oh boy. Shunter power. Let's let everything air up fully first. So we got lots of time, at least. The pocket watch, it's nice to have, but it is really expensive if I remember correctly, because you only buy it once. but it would be nice to have for switching. Okay, fire it up. Alright, shunter power. Are we moving? We're moving. Just pretend the window's open, it's fine. That's a long string of cars we're shoving back. And this is what I mean when I say the shunter is a lot more powerful than it probably should be. But I can understand there's only 3 kinds of locomotives in the game, so... And in the beginning, you're only going to be able to use the shunter, and eventually you get multiple unit, but not in the very beginning, so... Yeah, you got to be able to do this. But see, that track just to the right, 4-0. That's really where it should have told me to put it, instead of making me stack all of the trains on 3. But whatever. It said, well, it's just, I'm sure it's just a system that calculates there's enough room for 5 cars on that track, so therefore, that's where you put them. I could have, if I wasn't able to shove that back, I could have parked the string that I had somewhere else, and then taken the string that was in the way, pulled it out of there, put it on a different track. But thankfully I didn't have to do that. Oh, exactly 12 minutes. Oh, damn, I thought I had plenty of time because I got the flat cars together. Well, I got the time bonus, just barely. That's the first time we almost didn't get the time bonus. So far, it's been very generous on that. Okay, one more. Yeah, one more switching job left. And apparently there's a string of new cars. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, you like these skins. Now this New York Central one I made. Of course, all I did was take the plain green skin of this car and stick the New York Central logo on it. Easiest skinning job ever. Somebody else made everything else here. And we got C&O, Chesapeake and Ohio, NW, Norfolk and Western, PRR, Pennsylvania Railroad, New York Central is the one I made, PRR. Missing any? We got the Frisco up here. That's what railroad is Frisco? It's, I mean, everybody calls it Frisco, but technically it's San Francisco and something. Okay. So. SU-11. Unload. When it's unloading, when the job is to unload something, then you know all of the cars for your job are already together in a line. You don't have to go around looking for different cars to put together. When it's loading, that's when you have to find all the empties and put them together. But with unloading, you can't do the little trick of getting a time advantage because most of the time is spent after you unload the cars, and then it has you split up the empties and park some empties here, park some there. So it's a lot harder to get the time bonus on an unloading job than a loading job. Okay. I thought maybe there was like a random other car hooked up back there. Okay. Oh, just real quick in case anybody's still around. I want to show you the newest skin that I've been working on. It is not done. It is going to take me a while. I will finish it because it's going to be a pain in the ass, but it's New York O&W skin for the switcher. Maroon and black. And Getting the white belt line around was pretty easy because I cheated and I painted over somebody's Union Pacific skin where they had a line going across it. So I was like, okay, I'll just trace this line, basically. But it was still a little tricky to get lined up because they didn't have a line on this part with the door, and they didn't have a line here. So I had to line that up with that, so that was a pain. But what's really a pain is these 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. These are a royal pain because you get them spaced out the way you like it on the nose, and then the side piece, of course, is a different skin, and the skin is a different size, so you got to try to line it up. And as you can see, it's not perfect. There's like little spots, but it's pretty close. It's hashtag good enough for me. So that end is good, but that's the easy end. That's the rear end of the engine, and there's no actual engine in this side of this. Now, a 44 tonner, there's an engine at both ends, but this European version, the engine's only there. So there's no fins here. There's no radiator grill to worry about. Now on this side, I don't think I have to worry about the grill on the side. They don't come around that far. But here on the front, the problem is all of these fins for the radiator is a different texture than what's outside of the fins. It's a different part of the skin file. So I'm trying to like count the fins and line up the lines. And as you can see, I didn't do a very good job. So let me take a picture because F12. There. That one is wrong. That one is almost perfect. I just need to make this fin more half and half. That one is completely off. Completely off. By a whole fin, actually, it's off. And this one, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know how that got so messed up. But anyway, that's my project that I've been working on with the skins. I work on a skin for a little while and then it starts pissing me off. These numbers are going to go away. That's just to help me know what part is what of the skin. But eventually, I'll have it. And you can probably tell what I'm trying to make, but let me just show you real quick. Pins. I think you can see this. Let's see if you can see this. Oh, no, you can't because it's game capture. Hold on. Can I just... add display capture? Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's what I'm going for here. So you can see these lines. In real life, obviously, you just take the paintbrush and run it along the corner and just keep the line going. It's no big deal. When you're dealing with a skin file, it's a pain in the ass. That's what I'm going for. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a number on the end. Like in the real thing, the number is on the black section here, but the in-game engine, you got to remember it's not actually. This picture here is a 44 tonner. The in-game one is kind of the Serbian version of it, but it's a newer engine. But anyway, at this white belt line up here, the in-game engine, pretty much that's the top. It flattens off right here, so there's no thick area here to put the number on. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the number. I might stick it between the top belt line and the first stripe here. I can't though because there's the freaking radiator fins. Maybe on one side or the other. I don't know. I might just not put the one number there. I mean, I got the number on the side here. Got the OW logo pretty good. That's what I'm working on. And all of this bottom stuff that in the real thing, it's all painted red. It's probably gonna say that the dark gray that it is now. I don't really know how to paint all of that stuff. I'm worried about trying to paint that stuff and ended up messing with the trucks or something else. So I'm probably not gonna mess with that. But yeah. How do I get rid of the remote? Yes. Okay. I'm not too good at this new OBS yet. Haven't really used it much. The Windows 10 version of the OBS, I guess. That's probably why. I don't know why the audio is not too great. But anyway, that's what I was working on. But it gets frustrating trying to do the skinning, so I stopped for a bit. I guess we can use it for a while, even though I've only got the lines on one end and the grill looks horrible. I don't know. Oh, it's Pac-Man time, apparently. I think this is from, yeah, Super Smash Brothers. Now I gotta put this back on Switch. Not that one. Was that the store? I thought the store was over by the past. Yeah. Well, that's the same building that the store is, but the actual store. You know what? Let's look at it real quick. Kind of scatterbrained, but the actual store. Where I just saw it. It's by the pasture station. Yeah. A lot of times you really can't notice it because it's buried off on the pasture, the car roads instead of by the tracks. Here's the shop. Let's see. There's usually one special item in each shop. Shunter quick guide, the SH282. That's the steam engine. Quick guide, shovel. That you can buy anywhere. And the lighter, you can buy that anywhere. Golden shovel is the special item here. Wait, an expert shovel? Improved control over the coal amount. Oh. Golden shovel's 20,000, and the expert's 5,000. Now they call it an expert shovel. That was just the regular shovel before, but expert shovel. It's true. Like the thing with the golden shovel is every scoop with the shovel completely fills the firebox. You only have to scoop one scoop of coal in the firebox each time. It's very nice, but you're keeping the firebox hotter, which usually in a steam engine you want to do. But if you want to really minimize how much coal and water you use, you want to use the cheap, crappier shovel, because then you can only fill the firebox halfway and keep the temperature lower, which means you burn less water. It's kind of a trade-off. What they really need to do is just add water towers all over the place, because really, in reality, if you're running steam, like this is kind of like in this world, it seems like steam is relatively common. You know, a lot of places have steam engines that you can get, but real life railroads with steam, they got water towers all over the place. That's you need water towers. And in this game, there's only a few places where you can get water and coal, which is a little silly. Did I hook up to those cars yet? Or did I get sidetracked looking at the I got sidetracked looking at the store. I'm not the scatterbrained when I'm not streaming. But what are you gonna do? Okay. Well, I'm glad I remembered that I didn't hook up yet. Because if we're gonna get the speedy bonus on this job, we're gonna have to really really optimize our time with it because I can't do anything ahead of time to get the cars ready. It's just hook up to the cars and then there's a Union Pacific job that I traced over, but it's just hook up to the freight cars, start the job, and then work as fast as you can. And the last few jobs, I wasn't really working as fast as I can. Now I have to. So we're gonna have to use sand and just get as much speed going as we can. I think I'm gonna go straight around the loop instead of backing up the diagonal part there. Let me think about it for a second, but I think I'd be better off that way. Okay, so now she's starting to air up the cars, which is, that's one way to optimize your time. Make sure the cars are pumped up with air before you start the job. Now, real life again, a string of cars this long, if you want to fully pump them up, that'd probably take 10-15 minutes at least, I would think. How many cars is it? 9 cars. I don't know, it's a sliding scale. It's not 5 minutes per car. Probably at least 10 minutes to fully pump them up. You could probably move after like 7. But the thing is, if you pump them up just enough to move, then you also don't have as much braking power because they're not pumped up all the way yet. But if you're just moving around in the yard, then it's okay. Alright, 12 minutes. This is where you would set the watch if you had the watch. 12 minutes. We are not making 12 minutes. I can almost guarantee you that. B1, D. Oh, do they all go to D1? Oh, maybe we will all make 12 minutes because they all go to one track. Okay. Okay, we are going straight around the loop. Oh, this is like 405 tons too. Let's put the sand on. This song is too quiet. The train's gonna be really loud right now because I'm really trying to get moving. Okay, with the sand that was too much. Give me my 30 miles an hour. Kilometers, whatever. Honestly though, it feels more like 30 miles than 30 kilometers. I know it's supposed to be kilometers, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but 30 kilometers an hour is really, it's only like 15 or 20 miles an hour, I think. So if it's really just kilometers, it's pretty slow. And I know when I'm in the steam engine running a passenger train and I'm flying down the track at like 80, I don't feel like I'm doing 60, I feel like I'm doing 80 miles. So, I don't know, it's weird. It's all, scale too. It's hard to tell. I tell you, once you get past 80 kilometers an hour in this game, it gets pretty scary. It gets a little scary moving that fast. It's like, I don't think I should be moving this fast. But there are stretches where the speed limit's like between 100 and even 120, I think is the highest speed limit I've seen. So, that's pretty good. It's pretty fun. And I guess 100 kilometers is, I don't know if any Europeans are here, but I think 100 kilometers is like 65 miles an hour. So it's really not that fast. But it feels really fast. Okay, we're doing 30. That's not too bad. This time we got a pretty long train, so we really do have to run this right up to the end, I think. Don't want to go over, though, either. Full brakes. I think technically, I always try to go by the sign, but I think technically you just have to be in between the switches. I think it gives you more leeway than I expected to, but that was pretty much perfect on that end. Let's see. We're going to have to go forward more, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to give it to me there. This is the max number of cars that fits on this track, yep. This is definitely the max number of cars that fits on the track. Go up a little bit more. Now, I did release the brakes already, so we should have air. I can't see anything because there's a sign in the way, but let's try that. It's kind of annoying when they give you the max number of cars because you have to keep playing with it until it tells you you can unload them. Okay. So are we sure that everything's going to one track? Yeah. Okay. Then we just go backwards the same way we came, basically. I could run around, but we don't have time for that. Yeah, I can't zigzag because I can't pull into D1 straight. I'm sure there's other empties parked there already. Yeah, sand. I don't know why I'm over here. I can't see anything anyway. I didn't blow the whistle. Oops. Sorry, FRA. I'm kind of busy. Okay, sand. Go away. I don't know why I'm sticking out this side. It's not any better than the other side. I think that was the crossing. I think I was over the crossing by the time I stopped blowing the horn. I think. I still gotta throw the switch for one. This is the best way to do that. I'm gonna try something crazy. Larry is driving, it's fine. Okay. Oh, there's nothing parked on one. I could have gone straight in. I'll be damned. I've never seen one fully empty before. Look, Larry's doing a good job. He didn't blow for the crossing. Nothing derailed, so that's good. How fast are we doing? A little under 30, that's okay. I think that's a pretty tight curve. I wouldn't do much more than 30 over it. There's no actual signs saying that, but I wouldn't do much more than 30. The yards don't have many speed signs. Hi there, Dav. I skinned it myself, this one. There's a mod. Well, first off, the best thing to do with Derail Valley is find the Discord server. There's a really good community for it. And there's a bunch of mods on Nexus Mods for Derail Valley. And one of them is Skin Manager. And with Skin Manager, you can either download skins or make your own, if you can. Yeah. And it's actually pretty simple once you get the Skin Manager thing. You need something called, and that's on Nexus too. You need something called Unity Mod Manager, I think it's called. Pretty sure. You have to install that first, and then you install the Skin Manager with that other mods. But then once Skin Manager is in, Then you just open the different files for the different things, like the engine or the cars, and you put the files directly in there. It's nice. It's a nice system. Eventually, there's going to be official mod support, but right now, that's how it works. You just find their Discord server, and you'll find everything. Oh, look at that! I thought I wasn't even going to make it in time. We did it in 8 minutes. Oot. I'm just starting a new save, fresh. The only license I have besides the starting ones is Long One, which really wasn't the right license to buy first because it bounced my copay up to $3,000. I probably should have gotten Logistical Hall first or something like that, but whatever, we're working with it. I've been playing this game for so long, I haven't started from scratch though in a long time, so I kind of forgot the order of which licenses to get. Yeah, license to kill it. Let's see. So, my copay, $3,100, right? It went up from 100, so technically, yeah, it added 3,000. So, see, the engine right now needs $5,800 worth of repairs. Well, 90% of that is fuel, but it's going to cost me $3,100 to do it. And before I got that license, it would have cost me $100. But and then once you get manual service, though, it's the fuel is half that. But for now, let's see, print. Like if I print this out, see all the times twos service fees. So yeah, if I had manual service, it would cost me half of what it's going to cost me. But still, you got to kind of do the math in the early stages because the copay is $3,000. But if I manually serviced it, it would cost me half of $5,800. See, half of 6 is 3. So yeah, it would be a little bit cheaper to do manual, but not much actually. We're still kind of okay. It wouldn't be much cheaper to do manual. Okay, that was all the switching jobs, finally. How long have I been now we have to pick a delivery job. And I can tell this is on hard because this is a set of 7 cars of pipes going down to Harbor, which is a pretty good trip from where Goods Factory Harbor's all the way down here. And it's only worth $8,500. Yeah, that would have been probably twice that on normal instead of hard, but okay. That's what I signed up for. Let's see. That's only 2,000. Oh, I don't have logistical haul. Never mind. Passenger, boy, I wonder if passengers would be worth it. Early run, early game. I think you would only need the passenger license. It's only 7,000, but then if you look up at the top, this is the way Express Passenger works, you get an extra 15,000 if you make it on time. And I think probably now, since I don't have many licenses, it's going to be easier to make it on time. And look at the weight, it's only 180 tons. So you can do it with one switcher, I would think. It'd be a little bit of a struggle. But, so that's 15 plus 7. That's how much. That's really good. But the license is probably like 20 or 30,000, and it probably bumps up the copay. Goods Factory to Machine Factory, probably your best bet would be run down this way because you can go faster on this line. All the way down and then up. That's a long haul. But anyway, we don't have that license. We just have Freight Haul and Long One. And I don't have concurrent jobs, so even if I had enough power, I could not combine these two harbor jobs together. I can only run one job at a time right now, so we're going to try to find the one that's worth the most, basically, that we can haul. So this one we can do, it's worth 8,500. This one is only worth 29, so Machine Factory 5, that's horrible for Machine Factory, because Machine Factory is pretty far away. 8,500, 7,500. Oh. Steel Mill 2,200. Now that's not much, but Steel Mill is really close to. Steel Mill is where we just came from, actually, before we started switching here. It's just right here. Oh, it's logistical. Never mind. Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. Well, this one's a better Machine Factory, 11. I can't do that. I can't do that. So, Machine Factory for 11.5, Harbor for 8.5. So we're here now. Harbor is way down here. By the way, this line for Goods Factory crosses under this line that goes north-south, so we can't come out of here and make a left and go that way. You have to go this way. And down through Steel Mill and over. There are some spots where you can speed. Of course, we're not going to be going too fast, which is this little switcher. So we're going to go all the way to Harbor Town or all the way over to City Southwest and up to Machine Factory. Now, with the way you were dealing with copays, I'm much better off not paying this right now. Because I think I've probably got at least half a tank of fuel still. You're much better off running your fuel to almost empty before paying the copay. Because the copay doesn't go up, it's going to be $3,000. So it's going to be $3,000 whether or not you owe $5,800 or twice that. So run the thing empty pretty much before you pay it. Honestly, oh, this one, how heavy is this? 422. That's about 22 tons more than you really should try to haul with the... If this was a switching job, 422 tons, I could do it. But this is a drive across the map job. And especially when you get down the City Southwest and then you got to go up to the Machine Factory, there's a bit of a climb here. It's not super steep, but I think I would struggle. There's no way I would make it there in time. I would struggle a lot with that. And it's only like 2,000 more than this job. This job's going to be pushing at 385 tons, but Harbor and Town, so you would go down through Steel Mill. Between Steel Mill here and going around this curve, that's a pretty steep climb up from Steel Mill to here. But once you make it past that, everything else, no, not that way. Everything else this way, all the way down to Harbor and Town, is actually pretty downhill. It's steep downhill, which means climbing out of Harbor and Town is really hard. But you can really make up a lot of time. So we're going to take this job. It's going to be a little rough. Passenger. Oh, passenger is a... That's a mod. Passenger jobs. Sorry. The passenger cars have been in the game, but if you don't have the mod for it, you have to spawn them in. And you can't make jobs or make money out of them. You can just haul the passenger cars around just because they look cool. But if you get the passenger jobs mod, then here they are. And the trick with passenger jobs is it's very time based. Like most of the money you make is for getting there in time. The base pay for passenger jobs isn't very good, but if you get there in time, you can make a lot of money. I like to do it with steam engine. But the thing with the passenger jobs is, the passenger cars, I should say, is look how long each car is. They're very long. And when you go around tight turns, if you don't really slow down, they derail really easily. And then if they derail, that's a big expense. So it's kind of risky. There is another mod that I don't have called Sliced Passenger Cars, where somebody actually just kind of chopped the cars down, I think pretty basically in half. They made them a lot shorter. And then they don't derail too easily. But I don't know. They don't look as good, I would think. Like, I don't think the skins work on the chopped ones. And these skins look so nice that I downloaded. So I keep them long, and I'm really careful on switches with them, basically. Okay. Oh, they had me pile all these on the same track. All right, Burn. Yeah, it's pretty late. Wow, it's 2:30 in the morning. All right, see you later. Thanks for showing up, hanging out. 48. Oh, of course, it's the one that's buried. I gotta take the first one out of the way. This is look. There's so many output tracks, and they had me pile them all up on one track. That wasn't nice. Oh, sometimes the coupler glitches like this. It's just silly. It's just a visual thing. But yeah, this skin here is a skin that I'm still work in progress. See, I didn't bring the stripes around the corner yet. I've still got numbers trying to figure out what part of the skin is what, but I've got this end pretty good. But it still needs work. I'm going to switch it out, actually. This one is one that I made that is done, although there's a few errors here and there that I don't really know how to fix, but it's pretty good. It's a short line that I used to work on, my local short line, Middletown, New Jersey Railroad. I just took that logo off of a picture and cut it out of there and pasted it on the skin. It works. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this one big haul. Well, it's not that big of a haul, but it is for one little switcher. Oh, it's 2 switches I have to go up. But we're going to do this one big haul down to Harbor, or Dying Trying, and then I'm going to call it for the stream. So I want to go downstairs and get some food and stuff eventually. I mean, really I should be going to bed, but my sleep schedule is kind of upside down. That was a little heavy on the brakes. Oh, that was open. Derp. Alright. Now, if I had enough power, I would just pull the whole string out and set off the set that I want to take out with me on the siding, but I don't think I really have enough power for that. It would be very slow. It would use up more fuel. So, 48. I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to take the 58s, 56, whatever these are, get them out of the way, and then get my train. Yeah. Trying to decide which. You know what? I'm gonna stick it on 5i input, even though it doesn't really belong there. When you leave a city, the cars all despawn and new cars spawn in, so it doesn't matter where you leave the cars. Now, if I had the persistent jobs mod, which I don't really like what it does sometimes. But if I had the persistent jobs mod, then none of the cars would ever despawn. Then I would be stuck with leaving those cars parked on the input track, and then when I came in with my next job, if I come in with a load that's supposed to park on the input track, these cars would be in the way. But that doesn't happen without persistent jobs. I used persistent jobs for a while, but the problem with persistent jobs with the switching aspect is a lot of times the switch jobs just have you leave, like if you're loading up a train, instead of telling you to take that loaded train and park it on such and such output track, it just has you leave the loaded train on the loading track, and there, your job's done. Which means that you're always going to get the speedy bonus pretty much because you're skipping a step. And after you've done the... Oh no, I forgot to throw a switch. No. I threw that switch, but I didn't throw the other switch. I caught it right before we possibly hit a car too hard. That was bad. I guess maybe it's because I'm talking too much. But anyway, with persistent jobs, you end up... So yeah, you skip that step at the end where you're supposed to take the loaded cars and park them on such and such output track. It just tells you, oh, just leave it on the loading track. And then after that, so you turn in the job and you pretty much always get the speedy bonus because you're skipping a step. And then before you do another switching job, you got to take those loaded cars yourself and decide, okay, I want to put it on such and such track to get it out of the way because my next job is going to need the loading track. Which I guess it does make sense because it's letting you decide where to put it, but the persistent jobs mod didn't always work like that. It used to be it would tell you to put it on an output track, but then the problem was that with the persistent mods enabled, persistent jobs, I mean, it didn't check to see what cars were already on a track. So then you would run into a problem where you would load up a bunch of cars and it would tell you to park them on a track that was already full. So then you had to spend time... Yeah, this is the one I didn't hit. Then you had to spend time while you were on the job moving the other cars that were in the way out so that you could park the ones where it's telling you to park them. And then it was the opposite problem. You're never going to get the speedy bonus that way. So, I don't know what the real correct answer to that is, but I stopped using persistent jobs. Then it would update sometimes, and then you'd have to like remove it and add in the new version of it, which whenever something like that happens, I'm always worried that I'm going to break something. Like the skins mod, there's no way you're going to break anything with that. The skin is either going to work or not work. But with something that actually changes gameplay, I get a little worried about it. The reason why I used persistent jobs, though, was that, especially with the steel mill. Like if you're trying to get cars together for a switching job and be fancy and get the cars together before you actually accept the job, as soon as you leave the pre-designated zone of each city or switch yard, then the switch job expires because those cars technically aren't usable anymore. Then it spawns in different cars instead. So with the steel mill especially, you have to go kind of far sometimes to get past the switch, and then if you don't stop quick enough to stop right past the switch and throw the switch and come back in, then your job expired. So that's why I used persistent jobs for a while. But then somebody came up with a mod that extends the range of each city without doing everything else the persistent jobs does. So that's what I use now. I forget what the mod's called, but I like it because I liked the thing with persistent jobs that I like though is no car, no freight car ever despawns with persistent jobs. So you have to use your brain. Like if you did a switch job and you left some cars somewhere, you have to say, where should those cars go so that the next time I come in here, they're not in the way. Because usually, without persistent jobs, the game does that for you. The game just despawns everything and then spawns in a new set of cars. That's how it works usually. Like here, I'm taking these loaded pipes and I'm putting them on 5i, which is an input track. So if persistent jobs was on, I came back in with a loaded train that's supposed to park on 5i, this would be in the way. But with the base game, without the mod, it's just going to despawn these cars as soon as I leave. So it doesn't matter. Okay, now we can hook up those pipes, and that's our train out of here. Actually got warmer tonight. Last night was really cold. I had to actually use 3 blankets, which I usually never have to do. I'm usually way too hot when I'm sleeping. Or, well, this morning, I guess I had to use 3 blankets because I was awake at night. But tonight it got warmer because tomorrow we are getting a snowstorm. It's not a real big snowstorm. We're, I think, 2 to 6 inches. Not much. We're probably going to get around 4 would be my guess. But usually right before it snows, the temperature does come up a bit, so that makes sense. Thankfully, though, during the snowstorm, it's going to be in the 20s. So that's good. Colder is better when it snows, because if it's up near 30, 31, 32, that's when the snows are really wet and it's mixing with sleet and rain and it's really freaking heavy and the snowblower gets clogged. So hopefully it's going to be in the 20s, which means it should be nice, dry, regular snow. So it should be pretty nice. No, you're not somewhere where it snows, are you, chimp? Yeah, I don't think you are. Yeah. It's not much snow. About a week before Christmas, we got like a little over a foot of snow. It was supposed to be even more actually, but we ended up kind of in a dry spot. A lot of people got like 2-3 feet further north of me. Out of Little Maryland. Nice. But we got about a foot. That was fun. It was good snow though. But the sucky part was, a couple days later on Christmas Day, it was warm and it rained and, well, it was a couple days before Christmas. But anyway, by Christmas Day, it was raining and there was no snow. It sucked. It was like, oh, we got snow like a week before Christmas. We got like a foot of snow. We're like, oh, that's not going to go anywhere. We're going to have a white Christmas. And then it got warm and rained. And it was like, no, not my snow. Winter is definitely my favorite season. I love the snow. I even like having to get rid of the snow. Well, I don't like shoveling so much anymore because I'm getting older and I'm not as strong as I used to be, but I got snow blowers. Oh, that was the wrong car. I don't really need to hook this back up, but I'm going to. Be nice. Like my Amazon Prime shipping container. Now that mod is like the skin mod, but it's different though because it's for the cargo trains, like the containers and the tractors. It's called, you know what? Instead of forgetting and guessing about what a mod is called, Control F10. There's your mod manager. Cargo Swap, that's the name of the mod that reskins the cargo. And Discord Rich Presence, that's a silly mod, kind of. That just makes it so that when you're playing this Derail Valley on your Discord under your status, It tells everybody how many cars you're hauling, where you're going, if you're on time. 2 or 3 inches. Oh, Indiana, don't you get a lot of snow up there usually? That's Indiana. Next state north is Illinois, right? No? Isn't it like Midwest? Oh. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I guess you're not in that part where the jet stream bellies way down and then it gets super cold every year. I'm thinking different part. Yeah, Midwest. Yeah. Oh, mods. So Discord Rich Presence just shows everybody at Discord what I'm doing. Expanded station range. That's the thing that's like persistent jobs, but it doesn't do everything persistent jobs. So it gets really cold, but you don't get a lot of snow. Okay. We get a lot of snow because the storms brew off the coast and they pick up the water from the ocean and they get really big and then we get a nor'easter usually. I'm in New York, about 2 hours or so north of New York City. Yeah, Maryland, you always end up with a mix, right? Sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows. Number manager, I should get rid of that one because it doesn't work anymore. It makes either random numbers or you can set it up to do specific numbers on the locomotives. There's passenger jobs and tender double capacity for the steam engine. That's kind of a cheat, but it's not really a cheat because they should just give you steam service at all the different cities. Mm. You would think that the snow would taste salty. I don't think it really does. I mean, it's been a while since I bothered eating snow. That was like a kid thing to do. But no, it's not salty. I don't. I don't know. Maybe when the moisture's all up in the air and turning into snow, maybe the salt settles back down or something. That's a good question. Yeah, sleet and ice. Yeah, we. Yeah. Where I am, we used to be pretty much. Sometimes we would get the ice storm or really bad mix, but most of the time we got good snow. Last like maybe I don't know 5 years or so. I guess the temperatures have been crawling up just a little bit, and now we get a lot more mix. We get a lot more ice storms, or we get the wet snow and the rain. Sometimes we still get good snow, but it's not like it used to be. What? Oh, you're gonna make me fix the engine now. Okay, this is also a mechanic of the game. When you've accrued enough debt, you can't take a new job until you pay it off. So it's gonna make me pay my $3,000 copay. Yeah. I wanted to run the engine like fully out of fuel first, but it's gonna make me pay it now. Oh well. Well. There you go. Now I can accept my job. Now I think as you have more money in your wallet, you can accrue more debt before it makes you do that. Okay, we're going to Harbor Town, C2 in Harbor. Okay. Wish me luck. This is going to be a fun run. This is going to take a while, by the way. Probably everybody will be sleeping by the time I get to Harbor. How much time is it giving me? 38 minutes to get from here to Harbor? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Did I mess up? I did. No, start the engine back up because we paid off the emissions. It shuts off the engine. There. I still got air, right? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we end up getting a mix a lot of times, or the snow is pretty good, but it warms up a lot right after, and it warms up a little bit too much right after, and then everything starts melting too fast, and then you get the really wet snow and slush. And if you're not out there at like daybreak, snow blowing and getting rid of it before it turns into crap, then you're in trouble. Also, on my road specifically, we have an issue for a while now. We li- we live on a pretty main road. Like it's a 2-lane road, but it's really wide for 2 lanes. Like you can park on one side, and there's a lot of room on the road basically. But since our road, we're like on the edge of town and it leads out of town. So because of that, they've decided with the plows that our road is really important, even though it's really not. Most people go out of town on the other main road. But it's really important, so they gotta make sure the road is as wide as possible. They keep up with it really good. But for some reason, my town, even though we don't have many roads that are wide enough and big enough basically for it, they have the one big plow in the front like any plow truck. But then they have a second plow on the side that faces sideways. Like, so here on a residential road, that means that second plow faces the houses. The houses that are on the street. And my house and most of the other houses on my street, we're only like maybe 10 feet away from the edge of the road. So that second plow, this plow setup that has one plow on the front, one plow on the side facing sideways, that belongs on a highway or on a country road where you're out of town. It doesn't belong on a residential road. And somebody up high with the city decided that we needed those great big plows. Probably got a grant from the state or something. We're like, oh, let's buy all these giant plows. And ever since that year, whenever the plows go by, instead of, you guys get some snow, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. But instead of when the plow goes by, you have a snowbank, a big pile of snow along the edge of the road, in the gutter, basically, around the edge of the sidewalk, and basically in the edge of the road on the blacktop, not on the sidewalk. That's where the pile of snow should be. And then, of course, it's piled up at the end of the driveway, and you got to shovel out the mouth of the driveway. But, that's just how plows work. The snow has to go somewhere. I expect the snow to be piled up at the end of the driveway. But the problem here, with that extra side plow facing sideways, is that... and this is a 30-mile-an-hour road, and I swear those plows do more than 30 sometimes. But the snow flies right up off the edge of the road completely, and either if it's a bigger snowstorm and they actually do go slow, the snow piles up really high right on top of the sidewalk. And of course, as the homeowner, it's your job to clear the sidewalk. It's supposed to pile up at the edge of the road before you get to the sidewalk. But no, it piles right on top of the sidewalk. So my sidewalk, for example, is the width of the lot of my house, and then we have another empty lot next to me. And then I'm really good friends with my neighbor. It's actually his snowblower that I use for the big storms. So I do his 2 lots of sidewalk. And that whole stretch of sidewalk is the height of what the snowbank should be out in the road. So if we get a foot of snowfall, like the storm right before Christmas was a foot, the sidewalk is at least 2 feet deep, probably 2.5, and it's the heavy stuff from the road, with all the salt from the road. And that's what we have to deal with every time now. For it's been years that it's been like that. It's actually a little bit better now. And the other problem is if they can go faster and it's not as much snow, they throw the snow so far. The snow from the road is up on my front porch. And other people's houses, it's blasted against their house. It's in their windows. It's ridiculous. They're using plows that belong on the highway in a residential area. And the reason why they do that is because if they manage to throw all of the snow off the road completely, off the edge of the road, and there's no snowbank at the edge of the road, well, then there's nothing else the city has to do. It used to be you would have the snowbank. How fast am I going? 60. Okay. You would have the snowbank, and when the snowbank got too big, the city would have to come around with a big giant. It's basically a really big snowblower. Okay. And a big snowblower and a dump truck, and they would have to chew up that big snowbank and throw it into the bank. Oh, geez, now I'm going way too fast. Up. Well, folks, this is why it's called Derail Valley. This is a sign. That was what we call a downhill slope right before a switch where the speed limit... Yeah, my first derailment. Woohoo! For derailing and finishing the job, considering derailing it, discarding it, yeah. Yeah, that's an oops. What happened here? Yeah, I'm insured. But what happened here was I was doing 60, and the speed limit was 60. But then, let's time travel. Usually this isn't a problem. But then right before the switch, first off, this stretch is all downhill. And right before the switch, I noticed, like maybe right here, I looked at my speed, and instead of 60, it was like 70. I was like, wait a minute. It's like 75. I hit the brakes, and as soon as you get through this, I forgot this switch. I thought this switch was going to be 6. No. This turn is a 5. So we hit this 5, that's 50. We hit this at like 70, I think. And that's why the front end of the train is in the ditch. I gotta take a picture. It's pretty good. This, folks, is why I decided to start a new save for just when I'm streaming, so that when something like this happens, it is caught on camera for everybody to enjoy. I wonder if I can salvage this. Let's see if I can afford to re-rail it. Okay, these cars are all on. That's good, at least. Okay, re-railing just that car costs $7,000? Oh, how much do I have? I have $22,000, so I could re-rail this, but that would be a giant loss because I would have to do this for 7. No, is that a 7 or is that a 1? Hold on, that was the wrong button. Hold on. Oh, it's 1. That's 1,200. Okay, we can do 1,200. So that's going to cost me 1,200. That's going to cost me around 2,500. So 25, 35, 3,700. And my copay is 3,100. 3,800, yeah. My copay is 3,100. And then on top of the re-rail fee, there's also going to be damages, probably. Yeah, I kind of almost did fly over the ditch and end up on another track. But anyway, I should probably discard the job and pay the 3,100 copay, which I'm pretty sure will just clear the train. Usually, I very rarely derail, and when I do, I just re-rail it manually. Now, of course, later on in the game, when your copay is way higher, it's always worth it to re-rail it yourself. But right now, the advantage of re-railing it is we can still drive the train to harbor and make the money at the end of the line. But if I can discard the job and just take the other job of pipes. Let's see how much I'm making on this. That's a good point because I'm on hard, so you don't make as much. Oh, I'm only making 8,500. If I discard the job, there's another job with one less car. This was probably worth like 7,500. Well, 8,500. That's not. I'm not used to playing on hard. I've never done it before. That's a tough decision. The thing is, I don't know how much it's going to cost later on when I get to Harbor to repair the damage too. Let's see how much the damage is. 63% on the car, 94 on the cargo. How about the engine? Ooh, the engine's 52%. Yeah, the windows blew out. I think I need to discard it and just pay the copay. I think yeah. Yep. Fun fact, this is the first time I've ever done that in this game. And actually, the little pop-up that told me that I derailed told me to discard the job and pay the copay. And I've never done that. I've always done it by hand because I almost never just derail. That's funny. I must usually haul too much car weight out of here, and I usually just don't get the speed going. That's the first time I derailed there. I've derailed a few times, but usually most of my derails are something stupid. That was a good one. Okay, so to discard the job, I take the job. Usually when you throw the job pamphlet like in the garbage can or something, that doesn't actually discard it. You have to... Let me put this back on the switch. You have to throw it specifically in this dumpster. That discards it. Yep, gone. And now I have to just pay. Oh yeah. There you go. 7,500 plus 5,600. Yeah, not worth it. So now we just do this, and it's only going to cost us 31. That's the advantage of the beginning. Do I have VR? Nope, I don't have VR. Honestly, even if I had the money for it, I don't know if I'd want the VR. I think, well, this is definitely the only game that I would ever try VR in. And it's definitely made for VR. I don't know how much I'd like it, because the only thing I've ever seen of VR is when I watch streams of people playing in VR. And for somebody watching it who's not actually immersed in playing, it just, the camera's all over the place, and it's kind of like, I don't know if I'd like that. But if you're actually immersed in playing the game that way, it's probably really good. Maybe that'll be a goal someday. I mean, I'm sure the prices eventually will come down on it too. It's fun in VR. Oh boy, Elite Dangerous. Yeah, that would be really good in VR. And I play American Truck Simulator a lot. That would be good in VR, I think. I watch a lot of people play iRacing sometimes, streaming. They're in VR. And that's kind of, I can watch that for, oh my god, there's no jobs here. There's no new jobs here. But right, the jobs that were here when I left would have despawned as soon as I left, you're right. But shouldn't there be new jobs? The yard is full. Huh. I think I'd just be able to get another switcher and start up again. But there's nothing here. Hold on. Look at the cars. FH56, there's jobs here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did the mod screw something up here? Oh. The jobs that I didn't want to do, I threw all... Oh, it remembered that I threw... Huh, so nothing refreshed then. Everything should have reset by now. I made it all the way down to the Y. I guess that's the, I guess that's the mod. The, what's it called? Expanded station range. Wow, I didn't think it would expand that far. Yep, check the trash. Well, usually as soon as you leave a city, everything that was here disappears and it gives you a whole new set of jobs, but I must have not been far enough away for that to happen. Okay. Well, I need another trash can because I can't do that. Actually, my copays are paid off, so let me... How much money do I have? 19,000. Can I afford anything? No. Nope. I need to save up for manual service. That's really what I need to do next, I think. Just call. Manual service. I remember this now. Yeah. Manual service adds another almost 5,000 to the copay. Is it worth? It's not worth it yet. Because my copay is 3,100 now. That's not worth it yet. That is not worth it yet. How much is logistical haul? 20,000. Ooh, that doesn't raise the copay at all. See, that's what I should have started with, logistical haul. It does add 5% to the time bonus deadline, which means you got to get places a lot faster. But it doesn't add to the copay. You can actually make a lot with empties. You wouldn't think you would make much with empties, but you actually can. So, that's the next thing I want for 20,000. I'm not sure now. 19. I need better glasses. Yeah, not quite. Yeah, logistical. Yep, logistics is empties. Yeah, I don't know why it's not just called like this is logistics. Look, that makes those are empty cars, only 207 tons, and it's the same amount of money. Yeah, I was gonna make 8,900 on that load of pipes, 8,800 for empty flat cars. Logistical haul is definitely the first license that you should get. But I didn't do it. Machine factory 5. That sucks. Oh, if I had concurrent, I could add these two together. No, I couldn't because this is 422 tons, which I wouldn't trust with just one shunter. Okay, there's the other pipe job. That's probably what we're gonna do. Lord. I don't have passengers yet. Passengers might be worth it. I think passengers adds a lot to the copay though. And passengers is like 30,000, I think. Oh, passengers is 100,000. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. And it adds 150,000 to the copay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. That's a fun thing to play with after you have all the other licenses. Concurrent would go along good with logistical. $7,500 copay. 2% time bonus. Okay, for now, we cannot afford a logistical, so we're taking these other sets of pipes. Oh, yep, you can do that. Jump back and forth between the two shunters, yeah. I've done that once or twice. It's such a pain though. I I'm gonna wait for MU before I try that. And then you can just link them up with the MU cable, and you're good to go. Of course, that's $30,000 for MU. Mm. Is there another switcher here? Okay. Of course, big diesel I won't be able to do for. That's 200,000 to get the big diesel. No, I could show off my skins. Got stuck on a hill, took 3 shunters. Yep. Uh huh. I've gotten stuck with one switcher on a hill, and then I had to bring in another switcher. And the way I came from, the switcher had to be on the tail end of the train, so you couldn't even really bounce back and forth too good. You had to run down to the end, throw the back switcher on sander and, like, I don't know, notch 5 or something like that. Get back to the head end, rev that thing up. Yeah. Like, oh no. Let's see. Uh, you remember Conrail? I like old stuff. That goes with railroads too, so I like, Pennsylvania Railroad, Conrail. Which is what took over after Pennsylvania fell. New York Central with the lightning stripe. I didn't make any of these. These are all on the Nexus. Yeah, the remote is amazing. That's a game changer. That's what it was, Pennsylvania. Rio Grande for the fans from the West Coast. All from the mountains, from Colorado and all that. And oh wow, I have more than I thought I had. Southern. That one just came out recently. The funny thing about this one, Southern Railroad. Oh, Oneonta. That would have been D&H or DL and W. One of those. But one of the guys that's D&H, nice. One of the guys that's really active on the Discord, well, he's not now, he's on a mission or something, but he works at a railway museum down in Georgia. I'm very interested in seeing that one someday. But they have an engine that's in the Southern paint scheme. Yep, D&H. Now me, my grandfather, and I'm not positive, but I think all 4 of his brothers also all worked at least a little bit on the New York, Ontario, and Western Railroad. No, not Betsy. There was one more I wanted to show off. Or was there? Conrail, Union Pacific. And the O&W was centered in the town that I'm in, Middletown. And basically it was a very long, windy railroad that went through all the mountains. It didn't go to Oneonta, but it went to Liberty, New York, and then up through Sydney, Norwich. Oswego is where it ended, and that's up on the lake, Lake Ontario. Oneida before Oswego. That's the other big one that I'm thinking of. But then on the south end, south of Middletown, it went to it connected up to the New York Central or West Shore line before that in Cornwall, New York. But then they had to run on Western West Shore, New York Central, in order to get down to Weehawken, which was kind of their connection to the city. But they never had a good passenger base because they went through all little towns through the mountains. So O&W was out of business by like 1957. Done. Their only main business was coal, and people stopped heating their houses with coal. So coal and milk. They did a lot of milk farms and stuff like that, and milk stopped shipping by rail, probably in the 40s. So, you know, if it could have survived, though, nowadays that line, if the line was still there with a railroad on it, passengers would probably be good because everybody from the city just moves further and further north and still commutes to the city. So nowadays, what if scenario, if the O&W survived, it would probably be decent. That's kind of what I'm obsessed with the O&W. That's why I'm making this. And let's see, what else can I show off O&W? Are there any gondolas here? There's no gondolas. I made a gondola skin for it. And what else did I make? Hoppers. I'm not too good at skinning, but I can do simple stuff. Alright. Well, I think it is after 3 in the morning. I think I'm going to stop, actually. Because if I want another crack at running down to the harbor, that is going to be like a half hour, probably. So, I think I'm going to stop. You mean skins for the cars? No. Not that I know of. I think the thing is, you can only change the skins, you can't change the model. So really all you would be able to do is change the color of the car, basically. I mean, the freight car that holds the cars, I got skins for those. That's a Frisco. I made the New York Central one. Basically, all I did was take the default green one and stick the New York Central logo on it. These flat cars and steak cars are all Pennsylvania, but you'd never know unless you really zoomed in on them. I got a bunch of tanker skins I didn't make. Oh, and I'll show. Now this one, some of my skins I should really release on Nexus so that other people could download them. But the passenger one I never will, because all I did is I took this Pennsylvania car that I didn't make. Oh yeah, you could. But I took this Pennsylvania car, and I just pretty much relettered it for O&W. See, it's the same car, the same stripes. I put New York O&W instead of the Pennsy, and then I added the logo down at the bottom. That's it. Oh, and I changed the dark red here to jet black. Still, not enough of a change to really put it on Nexus and have other people download it. And what I can't show you because it's not here is I reskinned the steam engine and tender to match it. Well, I couldn't do too much with the steamer, but the tender matches it pretty good. But yeah. Yeah, there's nothing fancy to show off here. I could completely just walk to another... Where am I? Closest place is Oilwell North. I probably can't do squat at Oilwell North. If I had logistical haul, I could haul empty tankers, but I don't have that. That's really what I should have started with. Wait, is there still... Let's go to the derailment site real quick before I stop. So I paid my copay. I've actually never gotten rid of a derailment this way. Did they just re-rail the cars and leave them here? Question mark? Oh. Wait a minute. I still have to re-rail it? I still have to re-rail it. That pays off all the damages, but I still have to re-rail it. Yeah, 100%. But it's still in the ditch. Okay. Well, good thing I didn't spend all my money on a job then. So wait, why did I jump the job? I should have kept the job. Whatever. So I still have to re-rail it. Oh, is this just going to be here? That's why people on the Discord sometimes talk about, oh, I derailed such and such, and I couldn't afford to fix it, so I have to go around it. That's what they mean, because it doesn't actually clear the cars. Maybe if I went far enough away, it would clear it, though. Hold on. I want to know now. Because the thing is, I already junked the job. So, I guess I shouldn't have junked the job. Then there should be a window that pops up telling you to junk the job. Huh. Let me see. Let's just explore a little bit. I don't think I'll lose anything doing this. Trees. Yeah, I might have still been within range of Goods Factory. Alright, yeah, I'm about to stop. I'm just experimenting now. I'll see ya. Yeah, it's late. It's 3:30. I'm still gonna have to re-rail it. Huh. So don't jump the job. Because you still have to re-rail it. Now this should be expired, I think. Yeah, Red Bear doesn't know how to end streams. I won all those pipes. Yeah, they're all mine. Own. Yeah, you meant own. Yeah. Yeah, they're all mine now, basically. I thought that they would despawn once I paid off all of the copay. But it's still there. I mean, it's not going to cost too much to re-rail it. It's just the one car and one engine. Still, I could have kept the job if I knew that was going to happen. That's not going away. So now I have to re-rail the car and the engine. Shove these heavy pipes backwards up the hill just to park them somewhere to get rid of them and start a new job. Okay. I'm not going to do that now. Huh. It really shouldn't tell you to throw away the job then. But whatever. Alright, Chimp and whoever else might still be around. I'm gonna stop now. I'll see you guys around. Later. Where's the button?